It's a sizzling, sumptuous, super Saturday ahead here on Racing Post Live with our sponsors Betfair. Dave Orton, back for another ding-dong with you. 11 terrestrial races domestically here, 10 that we're bringing you. Of course, we go to Leopardstown. It's the start of the Dublin Racing Festival. That's kicking off pretty much as we speak over there. We'll be giving you the prime races. Don't forget we're here tomorrow as well, guys. Double Dublin bubble coming your way. Of course, Sandown, Silly Isles being the highlight there. But what an undercard they've got. And we pop up to Musselburgh as well. Chock-a-block. More races than you can shake a stick at. More tipsters coming your way as well. Don't forget, of course, if you're new to the show, like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Facebook Live, let's get that chat ramping up. We'll do our very best to give you a shout out today. It's going to be thick and fast, but we will get a breather. And anything on Twitter, can't wait for the clips today. #RPL. All right, great stuff. Who have we got for you? Let's go down the panel, shall we? Our brother from another mother. Charlie Poste comes back.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, not going to be a lot of talking today, Dave.
Your sort of day.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Are we going to get all the tips up? That's the question.
Well, that's not my problem, is it? So, yeah, fair play to the boys.
This is a great time to be in racing, isn't it? I think we need to remind ourselves about this, Posty, because you can forget it a little bit. You know, this time last year we were hoping for this, weren't we? You know, restrictions lifted, COVID hopefully in the back mirror a little bit. Over in Ireland today, you know, full crowds, all that sort of stuff. Great, and let's face it, the narrative of the season is hotting up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I suppose there's a long time you were thinking that we're never going to get back to this day again, and like seeing crowds back at the track, I mean, it's incredibly exciting, and like you say, the stories that we've had in recent weeks, as in if that doesn't get you excited and revved for Cheltenham on the horizon, nothing will.
Yeah, very much so. G-Rod comes and joins us back again, the big bear. Goggles back on, I see. Well, hoping for another four-timer.
I didn't tip any winners last week, did I, without the goggles, whereas I had a four-timer the week before, so I thought I'd better go back to them, Dave. What a big weekend we've got coming up as well. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is remarkable. Now, you don't put a selection up in every race. So gambling, of course. Listen, you're not going to bet in every race today. If you do, small stakes, please. But you do fancy some strong, of course. Starting in our opener, don't give it away.
Yeah, my best bet goes in the opener. Usually I wait to the end, don't I?
You really are flipping us up.
Yeah, complete change up. We're going to go straight in, kick off with a winner and then kick on from there.
Oh, I love the confidence. Great stuff. You're pressing the buttons today?
I am.
For Barry Orr. Let's go to Dublin then. Big time up there. What's the vibe like over there, Barry?
Yeah, good afternoon, lads. It's brilliant. It's real buzz around. Obviously, we had the Welsh in town last night because they're playing Ireland in the rugby also this afternoon. So there's plenty of crack to be had in Dublin this weekend for sure. Top quality racing, as G-Rod says. Doesn't get much better than this over 2 days in Ireland. It's only the festival at Cheltenham that betters these 2 days. But a lot to look forward to. A lot of fancied horses running. A lot of dreams still alive. Will they be? Come Sunday evening, that remains to be seen. But yeah, like you said, we're showcasing the functionality of the exchange and the sportsbook to an extent as well. Just showing everything you can do, backing, laying and running, backing in, running, everything on the exchange. And then obviously a lot of decent multiple action on the sportsbook as well. By the way, you bet £20 on multiples today on the Betfair sportsbook, and you get a £5 free bet. So watch out for all those offers on the Betfair sportsbook also.
We're not going to be able to draw breath much today, Barry, are we? Some people will be delighted about that. But, you know, the best race reaction in the business, of course, and the anti-post reactions. You'll be buzzing with the sportsbook, no doubt, for that. Shall we get some business out the way?
Yeah, let's do the Lucky 15, G-Rod. I fancy 4 horses across the Musselburgh and Sandown today. We'll kick off in Sandown in the first race. I fancy Rico Boy in the 1:15. Then in the 3:30, Ollie Murphy's horse, Lindley King, putting that in. Then up to Musselburgh, there's 2 races up there in the 2:05, Cool Mix. He's my nap of the day today, having a good whack off him. And then in the 2:40, Glory and Honour. So we're going to do a £1 each way Lucky 15. So that's 6 doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 single bets. So it's 15 bets in total. We're going to do it each way for £1. So it's going to cost us £30. All proceeds going to a charity of our choice, which we haven't picked yet. It was the Injured Jockeys Fund last month. Maybe we'll let our esteemed guests pick it this month. Charlie, over to you.
What charity?
Station yard, is it? Or something?
I mean, look, as in, if it's all right with you boys, I mean, I did quite a bit for racing welfare last year. I mean, if people
quite
are happy
literally on your bike, weren't you?
Exactly,
We'll go for that again, shall we?
If people are happy to
Let's
go
do
with
racing
that,
welfare.
I think it's a fantastic
Lovely.
charity that probably doesn't always get the recognition it deserves. So yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Of course, January is now in the back mirror. Thank goodness for that. And we're revving up every single weekend now, isn't it? So look, we've had Shishkin, we've had Energamine in the Clarence House. We didn't think we could top that last week. However, the narrative just doesn't stop. It was Trials Day and this chap rocked up as well.
Oh no, Paisley Park's Sorry, he's missed the
Paisley
break.
Park's been left behind. What happened there? Why didn't the flag go up? Barry, what's happened to the Exchange? He's nearly a hurdle behind.
The Exchange hasn't really reacted to it other than Paisley Park is 11.5 from 7.
You might want to put another 0 on that, and you know what happens when I say that.
He's just about to hit his flat spot now.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You've literally called it as he did it. Paisley Park now has broken a bit, hasn't he, I think? Yeah. He's gone right on the Exchange finally.
Paisley's in trouble.
Yeah, Paisley is in trouble,
Is
but we know
McFarlane's
he
going
will
to
be
stay?
coming
He's
back.
travelling well.
Andrew Gemmill will be shimming him. He absolutely wins the law. This will be remarkable. Champ is in trouble. Paisley Park on the near. He's absolutely done it. This is absolutely sensational scenes here at the RP Live studios. Wow. Last to first. You could have put another 0 on it. How many times will I say that and they come good? Talk about getting a race wrong, eh? I mean, Barry, you've been with me since the start of that. I was getting some stick after that race.
Yeah, and today's your anniversary, do you know? The Silly Isles last year, what won that?
Sporting John, wasn't it? Thank you for reminding me.
Turning into the straight first time round, you said to me, what price is Sporting John? I said he's 70 on the Exchange. You can put a 0 on that, you said, and he duly obliged, obviously. So you're some record when you pinpoint one that you want to lay on the Exchange at a fancy price.
I think I was in pretty good company, wasn't it? Ruby Walsh.
Yeah.
He
Said
you
he'd
should
pulled him up,
pull him
taking
up.
him back to the.
So Aidan Coleman,
Sandown
hats off to you, Aidan.
It was interesting though that the in-running players didn't overreact to it.
It was
like,
embarrassing.
11.5 at that stage. I thought, like the way you were talking, I thought he was maybe left 25, 30 lengths, but they didn't overreact, just 11.5, although he did trade obviously bigger in running, out to around 42. I think he traded in running when G-Rod said that time he looked in trouble.
Magnificent scenes. Listen, we're going to have loads of fun today. Can we do it again? All right, Barry, let's go to you. This is a market that's now fully matured. Loads of old characters here. We'll get to the Paul Nichols form just after this, because for me, last year's second Dolos is a standout in this, but the market stinks about him, doesn't he? A bit like Paul's form.
Yeah, he's won this in 2020 off 157. He also won it in 2019. He's 161 rated at one stage. He's 143 rated now. So it's probably a watch and brief with him. Paul says in his blog, which you can read exclusively on betting.betfair, that it's definitely a watch and brief for Tarmac de Maton. Bit of a confidence builder here for him. But like I said, I like Rico Boy. He's a 6-year-old. He's rated 127. He was second to another creek after 286 days off. That was a 0 to 130. He was joint top weight there. Obviously, this is a better class of race, but he's a more manageable weight as well. He was second to Runas in the Scottish Champion Chase in 2010. He traded low in running there as well. He traded at 1.22. So I don't fancy Gunside Ridge and I don't fancy Bundora. And I thought Gunside Ridge, that was a poor race last day and it was on bottomless ground as well. So I'm looking for a bit of value outside of those at the top of the market. And I think Rico Boy, currently 14.5 in the Exchange. That's a knockout bet. We're going to have 25 quid win, a 14.5 G-Rod. We're going to back him in the place market as well. Standard 3 places here. On the Betfair Exchange. He's currently trading at 4, which is 3 to 1. So we'll take a bit of that as well.
He looked like he wanted to go this way round as well, didn't he? At some of his fences. Look, he is interesting. This is your nap as well, G.
This is my nap, Rico Boy. Yeah, thought that last time out at where was it?
Wincanton. Another crick, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
You know it so well.
so well. Yeah.
He traded at evens and running there.
Yeah, he needed the run, I thought. He travelled like he had a good chance of winning, and it was his first run for a long, long time. He had wind surgery last season, of course, so come back and improved also after that. And I just thought he would improve significantly for that run. And the race was running a really good time, so they went a good pace throughout. And that's probably what just caught him out at the end, the fact that it was so truly run, and maybe he wasn't quite there fitness-wise. I think he'll be there fitness-wise this time. I can't believe the price on him, Barry. He's huge, isn't he? Double figures.
Yeah, he's been a massive drifter. He was around a 6 to 1 chance on Thursday afternoon when we first went up with it on the sports book. So it is probably a little bit of a concern to drift, but I wouldn't let that put me off. Just he's out to 14.5. I think I have to back him with that.
You know
price
what
winning
Keely
place.
always says when they drift?
Yeah, you
Pardon?
love saying this, don't you?
Have more on.
You absolutely love it. We're keeping an eye on the Dublin Racing Festival, of course. We're bringing you 2 from there today. The spring coming up in around about half an hour's time, or 20 minutes' time after. We've just watched the first there, the 2 miles 6 grade one that Galliard de Menil won last year. And if you worry about drifters, don't worry, because Manella Kakuna took a walk in the market, won under Danny Mullins. Team Mullins win the first race at the Dublin Racing Festival. And yeah, sure as eggs are eggs, we're back where we should be, aren't we? But a few bubbles burst there, I think. Let's go back to Sandown. Love most of these horses in this race. Who gets the absolute adoration from Charlie Poste?
Gunsight Ridge, so yeah, I'm going to go against Barry. I mean, I think look, heavy ground last time, but he's enough form on better ground. I think the drop back to 2 mile really suited him the last day. The form, the run before that behind Lom Press.
Who we're seeing at 220,
in the grade one later on. And yeah, I just think the drop back in trip to 2 mile suited him well the last day. And yes, maybe it was heavy ground and maybe the ground's going to be a factor, but I'm inclined to overlook that because he's enough form on decent ground.
As I said to you, I would have
You
gone
hate
for
the horse,
Dolos. I don't hate the horse. You're trying to come back at me. I'm happy to do this today with you if you want. Me and Posty are going to play a bit of tennis. We've always been doing it in the office, a bit of wind-ups. I don't hate the horse. I think he should be Fav over Frero Bamboo. Frero Bamboo would have been one of my lays of the weekend, I think. He wants heavy ground. I know he likes Sandown, but I'd be taking him on. It's just a Venetia and Charlie Deutsch thing. Bundor and I think will finish closer to Gunsight Ridge on this ground.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
And it's just... I was all over Dolos at the start of the week, and I've just seen what sort of week Paul has had. When do we start saying, OK, it can't be about the flu inoculations anymore?
Well, it won't be long. It'll start be.
We usually give him January, don't we? But it was only a week ago before a horse called Danny Kerwin bounced out and looked like the second
plenty
coming
of
again.
winners at Newbury usually, doesn't he? That's next week, is it?
Yeah, it's got a turn,
Hurdle.
isn't it? I mean, but if you read Paul in the week, he spoke to our senior reporter Chris Cook, and he said the blood's right, they're eating, they're working all right, but they get to the track, and he had steam coming out of his ears at Wincanton on Thursday, apparently. So Chris was the brave man that asked him those questions. So look, we will see. But Dolos has been teaming up for this all season, so I can't tip him, so you know what will happen. I'm nearly tempted to say pre-race on the anniversary of Put Another Zero On. You can do that to Dolos already. I mean, it absolutely stinks in the market. It's
You don't
going to be
like
a
him.
fascinating race.
I thought you liked him. You changed your
Just
mind.
can't. Can you possibly put up? If you were tipping today, would you have put up any Nichols horse? Even a two's on shot. You worry about.
Yeah.
Up,
If I fancied them, I would. Yeah. Why not?
despite the form.
Yeah, don't worry about
He's
that.
had a lot of favourites beaten.
Yeah, but he's Paul Nichols. How many winners has he trained?
3 from his
career?
last 50, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just.
Yeah, it's going to turn very quickly, isn't it?
3 from 39. I've added.
Just
11
looking at that on the
buses there.
TV, I mean, what a commentator's nightmare. Manella Kakuna just beat Manella Kruna.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
As much as a betting shop employee's nightmare. Fellas with pencils.
Yeah,
writing
exactly.
down,
yeah. Oh, I miss those days, don't you? We've already had one race at Sandown on the hurdles course. It looked lively, and there was a lively winner. Did you see that? Looks like he's going to go to the Dovecote next. Of course, Lee Motters had sent me a quote, but I never get this horse's name right. What was the name? Should have had one more or something?
Should have had one more.
I got it right. There you go. Anyway, Dovecote next. If he wins, they'll go supreme. We're off and running at Sandown. First of 10 races coming your way. Who's going to take it up? The lovely Bundoran and his old rival Gunsight Ridge. Got a really good sight of that. Right out the back, Frero Bamboo. He's going to be taken off his feet, this chap today, isn't he? Hatcher in third. Hatcher's just sort of held by the handicap at the moment. Tamarack to Mathan. Start of the week, Paul Keeley was all over that, but he's jumped off the form as well. I'll let them run, said Keels last night. Moonlighter is now his pick. He's seeing them from the rear as well. Are you a little bit surprised, Posty, after a couple of fences, that they're duelling?
100% I am. I mean, Gunsight Ridge was ridden fairly close up to the pace on his last run, but I'm surprised to see him serving it up to Bundoran at this early stage. So
Bundoran. Bundoran.
Bundoran, whatever you want.
Bundoran. One man that can pronounce horses' names even worse than I can is G-Rod. Where's yours at the moment? Rico boy.
Yeah, he said he take the first two okay. It's great, isn't it? These 2 mile chases around Sandown, absolutely love them. These 7 fences coming up down the back straight shortly, but they're blasting off here. It's almost like Tingle Creek pace, isn't it?
You may as well stick with this because this is where my radar goes completely wrong, as everyone
they're going
knows.
a fence down the hill now.
We've got about 5 fences still to railway fences, I think. I'm not sure. But Barry, they're going a lickety split, aren't they? How's the market reacted?
Yeah, not much change. Good Sight Ridge, still your favourite. Ferrero is 3.65, 305, 2-1 Gunsight Ridge. Bundoran 7.8. He's took a bit of a drift Nothing major. Moonlighter 8 to 30 had a bet for SP of 14. He's a bit of a drifter as well.
All right, okay. So the back markers they've got what, 14 lengths to make up on these two?
we've
Are
got-
they going too fast, G?
That's the first of the 7 down the back straight. Bad mistake by Rico Boy. Lost some ground there. Oh no, that's a disaster. The front two are really piling it on Bundoran and Gunsight Ridge are taking each other on.
I'll tell you who's catching my eye. David Noonan and Moonlighter out the back. He's on really good terms with him, but he's got a lot to do from there, and he's Posty.
Yeah, I mean, look, especially if the ground is riding fairly reasonable, it's going to be hard to peg back horses on good ground around Sandown if they're jumping away well in the front end.
You know, your reputation making third time lucky did this, didn't he? Of course, when he curled up for the one time.
But that was when he was given an ordinary ride, wasn't it?
Well, what I'm saying is, are they going a bit quick? You know,
I think the pace is okay at the moment. As in, I think both horses in front are in good rhythms. Railway fences now,
Look at
so
Dolos.
jumping first and well.
Moonlighter,
Hatcher,
Hatcher out to
Seater.
seat.
Yeah.
Moonlighter. I'll tell you what, Moonlighter would be my pick in this.
Dolos
game.
catching
is
the eye
going
as well.
well.
No,
Look at, I mean, this is.
What about Nichols special?
Paul Nichols will be hiding behind the couch.
Have you done
right
it
now.
again, Dave?
I mean,
I
what did
might
you
have
say?
done it
He
again.
said put another 0 on it.
Yeah.
I might have done it again. I still think Moonlighter's going to have a say in this, but they're giving themselves a breather, aren't they?
The winner's
Moonlighter's
between these
miles
three,
back,
surely.
no?
I can't wait to see what Gunsight Ridge does here, guys, as we turn towards the famous pond fence, because he has also been called a few names before, and he's been given a proper attacking ride, hasn't he? Maybe he's just wanted this ground.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuses for him today. I mean, he's a horse that you've always hated, but right now he's got into a great rhythm. And
Your lay of the day's coming
jumped
through
very
well as well. He's
Oh.
travelling now, Frero.
What, Frero Bamboo?
Yeah, what price was he in running? He must have gone quite
The
big
old
early.
Bamboo, they've run it to suit him, haven't they? I don't fancy him at all. I still don't fancy him. I still think Moonlight might be the one. Where's Rico Boyd in 3
He's
out?
beat Rico.
Lad.
He's gone
Okay, yeah.
backwards.
Oh,
Has
he's
he gone
walked
the
through
fence?
that one. Right, Bundoran starts to get the hurry up now. It's the 3 front runners have dominated. Frero Bamboo is coming ominously from the pack under Charlie Deutsch.
Can
But
Moonlighter
I tell you what,
still
this is his manner. Oh, and he's absolutely whacked that fence as well. Bundoran gone.
Here
Cracked
comes
by his own
Frero.
rival.
Frero's flying.
You're loving this, G, aren't
Here
you?
he
I
comes,
tell you,
your
this
lay
don't
of the
catch
day.
his. Posty, I think you might have this in the bag. I'm hoping you do.
Go on, your lay of the day.
Oh, no, come on, Dollars. One of you. Okay, this looks like Frero Bamboo's going to take this. Is Charlie Deutsch pulled this out?
Dolos is holding him, isn't he?
Paul
This is
Nichols
very
will
close.
be
Paul
absolutely
Nichols,
papping it
he's
now.
off the cold list.
I can't believe I didn't tip this. Dolos is going to take it out. We said all season this was his run. It just shows you, doesn't it? We'll be talking about that after the race. He's won really well. Thank goodness from Frero Bamboo in second. Gunsight Ridge, considering he made such a sight up front, has run a belter to be third. Barry Orr.
Can you believe Frero Bamboo was odds on jumping the last, and he never got to the front. He traded at 1.40, 2 to 5 jumping the last. Frero Bamboo, unbelievably. Gunsight Ridge hit a low of 1.87, so he also traded at odds on. But your winner, these were all questioning the Paul Nichols form. He's a horse that won that last year off 157. He wins it today off 143. That's his 3rd win in the race. Phenomenal training performance.
I tell you, Barry, I'm going down for you guys to his stable again on the 7th of March.
are?
I think he owes me a bottle of champagne after that, doesn't he? I've put the jinx on it, and you know when I do that, they tend to go and win. But listen, it's great to see. Finally, he's had a Saturday winner again, and we knew it would turn at some point. So I'm really happy for him because apparently,
Hold
like I
on,
said,
you weren't saying that before the race. You were saying, no, he's 3 from 50 or something.
I said 3 from 4. I did say 3 from 40 odd, didn't I? But look, all week, if you'd have put up a Nichols horse, you'd have been disappointed with it. He knew they were running too bad to be true. Look at G's face.
You said questions are going to have to be asked.
It's absolutely started, isn't it? I was hoping for a nice, straightforward day, and here I am with these
Who
three.
let me in?
Yeah, okay. Listen, who took my advice and didn't back Dolos, and you're now screaming at the telly. At the start of the week, I spoke to Kills about this and said, this is the race, Kills, isn't it? He actually put Tamarick to Mathan up for some reason. I'm not sure why. but-
Kills over 40 as well.
Yeah. Okay, so would you like to give me a line on this, and I will let you have the floor
What,
for
that
this?
overthinking is the death of all punters.
It's the
isn't
devil's
it?
devil's work, isn't it?
Yeah, I really fancy that one, but Nichols is not going so well, so let's pack something else instead.
I
And then
notice you're
suddenly
being
what
very
happens-
vociferous because your nap is still running, by the way. So there's a nice little deflection tactic
He
there from G.
didn't jump a fence, Rico boy, and you don't win if you don't jump round Sandown.
They went some pace there, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think Gunsight Ridge is one we take out of that, isn't it?
He ran well, didn't he?
I think I'd suggest that Pharaoh back on winter ground has got another one in him. He has run well, but it was softened up for him.
It was a typical Sandown race in that like the leaders can get away, then they pack back up when they come to the pond fence, and then the leaders tend to go away again once they leave the pond fence. Ferrero Bamboo looked like he was going to get there, but never got there.
I'm on the floor about that, you know. I did a feature show yesterday. I actually said I was going to nap Dollar Spot. I can't possibly now. I just can't. And I've gone for 5-star getaway in one of our later races for our friend Christian Williams. So
I mean, it
you know
panned
what's
out
going to happen
perfect
now.
for Dollar, didn't it, with the strong pace? And
He
just
travelled
followed through.
beautifully, didn't
Yeah.
he? I guess when you've got two that are duelling like that, and we see it's not just the staying chases, it's any race over fence at the moment. Front runners are seeming to sort of dominate on a Saturday, aren't they? He had the sit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Lovely ride by Harry Cobden, that, and the pressure off. Team Ditcheat. Can't keep a good man down. Champion trainer back up and running. Watch those prices crash, Barry Orr. We will be going over to Ireland next, though. One of the races of the week, potentially one of the most informative races of the season. It's the spring, the second race of the Dublin Racing Festival.
Yeah, it is. We've just had a horse make all there under Danny Mullins in the opener, Manila Cocooner, and that's got half the price for the Albert Bartlett into is 6-1 from 20-1. For the Albert Bartlett, that first winner. But this one, obviously, Fildor, your favourite at 2.30. Fildor. We've also got Vauban. He's a real negative in the race, Dave. He's out to 3.6. It had been almost challenging Fildor for favouritism earlier on in the week. Eclair Alan is 6.8 and it's 22 bar. Vauban, obviously, you're going on the form of Pied Piper. He was odds on 8-13 to beat Pied Piper in his maiden hurl at Punchestown. Obviously, they were very disappointed when he got beat, but in hindsight, after seeing what Pied Piper did last week, it probably wasn't a bad run at all. But the market very negative for him here. Fildor very strong. I like Eclair Alan, currently 7.0. I know he's highly thought of in France. JP bought him, and he was well backed. He was well found in the market first time up in Leopardstown at Christmas and won convincingly. And he's taken another step up here. So we're going to back him, please, G-Rod. We're going to have 25 quid win on Eclair Alan, and we're going to have 25 quid in the place market as well. Happy to be a price taker at 7.0 in the win market, and in the place market, he should be trading around even money. No, he's 185 in the place market. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our own odds in the place market and look to back him at 2.0, which is even money. We'd set our own odds there.
He does seem to have been forgotten about a little bit, this chap. He was pretty impressive, wasn't he, on his debut, around Christmas time. Like the way he went through that race. Could have been called the winner, coming to that tricky second last. The form's all right. There's a couple of mixed messages coming out of it. I'm not surprised that Vauban, however we're going to say, is drifting. First time tongue tie is slightly alarming, isn't it? But you just go against money in the peril of this. I was lucky enough to zoom in yesterday to Culuntra House and speak to Gordon Elliott, and honestly, I came out of it thinking the one favourite I think will win this week is Fedor, by the way. I'm not opposing him. I like him. He's unbeaten. He's done nothing wrong. Caldwell Construction, Barry, they've got a real hand, as we said last week. They've got Mighty Potter, of course, haven't they? And they've got Pied Piper in the race. Our handicappers didn't help. We gave him a Racing Post rating of 140. Say Fedor goes and wins this by a couple of lengths, as he's entitled to do on form. Does Pied Piper have a look at the Supreme?
Oh, Jamie, if Fedor wins this easy, he's favourite for the Triumph Pearl, regardless of what Pied Piper did last week, because this is a proper graded race. The race that Pied Piper won last week in Cheltenham was probably a very average race. He travelled well throughout. He was never really put up to him. But you'd have to say that if Fedor was to win this impressive, he'd be the Triumph Pearl horse. I don't know. Would Pied Piper get into Boodles?
Well, he'd keep a lot of horses out in the handicap, I think, potentially, wouldn't he? I don't know. The weights come out, don't they, in a couple of weeks' time. So he did mention the Boodles, actually, Elliot, when I spoke to him about it. And I thought,
yeah, because I remember last year, Dave, when we spoke, he was thinking about Quilixios and Zanahir. They were his two horses for the Triumph last year. But the feeling I got was that he was going to run one of them in the Boodles. Now, that decision was taken out of his hands, obviously, due to subsequent events. But, he wasn't talking about stepping any of them out of their age group. And I think his mindset would be very much that of Willie Mullins, as you run your horses in the races you think you're going to win.
Yes, you're right, yeah.
And don't forget that crew already have a decent shout in the Supreme, the owners, Caldwell Construction.
Mighty Potter, yeah, of course. I asked him whether that might go out to the Ballymore. Let me tell you, he shot me down on that one. That interview is out there if you want to go and check it out. He gave us a lot, actually. Yeah, it's just fascinating, isn't it? Of course, Quilixios and Zanahir, different owners. So, I mean, what do you do? Go up to the Caldwell Construction guys and say, 2 shots at it. Come on, we've got 2 nice horses for the future. What do you reckon, G? Does he win this as well, by the way?
Well, the thing is, of course, is if he decides he wants to run Pied Piper in the Boodles, which I suppose he will enter him no matter what. Now, if our handicappers don't absolutely whack Pied Piper, then they're going to get criticised for not whacking him after whacking him last year in the handicaps.
We could talk about this. We could keep going on about this.
What mark's he going to get?
Minutes. Well, he's on
Pied
140, but and again, we could go on and on about this. We had Matt Gardner in yesterday, one of our handicappers. Great to have him in the studio for the first time, racing by numbers, basically, as we call it. You can see why Mel Rose loves him, by the way. He's just proper stats man. And often you see the juveniles getting very low RPRs, and then the actual handicapper gives them a lot more on top. So if he's got a 140, and say they applied that same reasoning, I mean, what's the marks he going to get?
Yeah, I reckon 150.
Do you? Wow.
Why is that? Why is there such a disparity?
Well, that's a good question. I don't really know. I don't know. It's almost like the Racing Post rating and the handicap marks, because you see them going into handicaps, G, don't you? 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and you're like, on Racing Post rating, it's got no chance. They blow them away, getting all the weight, of course.
Well, you tend to, when you're rating, you do tend to sort of undersell them early rather than oversell them early.
It's always been a thing with the juveniles. Don't really know why.
You know, you need to learn about these horses. You don't want to go in sticking huge marks on them and then they turn out rubbish, do they?
Yeah. Listen, if you want to know more about RPR, spotlights, check out the replays, check out all the Members Club stuff. We've got an offer for you, Members Club Ultimate. £15 a month for your first 3 months, usually 35 quid. You can find out if you're watching on YouTube at the moment. Just scroll down, you'll see the offer there. There's no better time, is there, to be getting involved. So sign up to the Members Club if you're not already. Okay, what's the tip in this? I like Eclair Len. I've got to say, I've had a little bit on him and I've had a little bit on Fidou. Fidou, sorry, on Fidou. It was almost Alan King's saying chaser there, wasn't it? I guess I'd be laying Vauban.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I'm with Phil Dorr in this, yeah, for sure. As in, listening more because of what, the price isn't attractive, but from what Gordon has said all the way through, like, this is his number one, isn't it, for the Triumph?
Let's come to you, Barry. Calixios, happy memories for you, of course, on the Friday of Cheltenham. You were eyeing that one, weren't you, when the rest of us was trying to see Titanic out the back of the telly. It's painful memories. He won this race last year, didn't he? Fidor, the right one at the moment for the Triumph?
This will tell a tale, Dave. You couldn't possibly say until you see how this race goes for Phil Dorr. If, like I said, if he wins this convincingly, he's favourite for the Triumph without a shadow of a doubt, because he'll have beaten the best of the Irish.
What price is it at the moment for the Triumph, Barry, for anyone that wants to be fingers on the buzzers?
3-1.
3-1.
5-2 Pied Piper, 3-1 Phil Dorr.
5, of course, Pied Piper, yeah, of course, he usurped him, didn't he? Fascinating stuff. Just a quick word on Pied Piper.
When he's coming for Eclair Alan, is into 6 now, 6.0, haven't been 7.4 earlier on this morning, so he's being supported. 2.34 now, Phil Dorr. Vauban, 3.6. Real negative for him for whatever reason.
I think we're all in agreement, though, aren't we, that this is one for the Irish again, isn't it, this division?
Yes.
Yeah, we've got something running tomorrow. Dr. Parnassus runs tomorrow at Musselburgh, doesn't he? But
probably will go to the Irish. But that horse of Milton Harris is quite good, Night Salute.
Oh, yeah, the one that
he's very tough and genuine and hardy. He jumps well.
He's kind of like one that the market will always... He's not sexy, is he?
No,
like,
not at all.
The profile.
He's very strong at the finish in his races.
And he's, of course, got a Grade 2 winner around Cheltenham.
Yeah.
He'll run okay, won't he?
Yeah, I mean...
that was thinly veiled, wasn't it? He'll run okay.
I just struggle to see him having the
Milton Harris is having some season. Would it surprise you if he had a big winner, at the end of it to crown it off? Not at all. Okay, good stuff. A reminder, we'll be going to Wetherby as well. We've got the Towton, which is usually a leading point at the Brown Advisory. The old RSA going to keep saying that until we get used to the Brown Advisory. Of course, Ahoy Senor comes out in that, and he's got a handicap winner against him as well. So we're going to get a real progressive horse. Saint Felician, is that his name?
Saint Palais.
Saint Palais, nearly.
Getting a lot of weight.
So we're going to learn a lot about the mark, and Brave Man Game Form will be mentioned after that as well. So tune in for that. Don't miss
win
it.
That. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
They've
Hoyson will win. Yeah.
Today just wins. Yeah.
Do you think going back left-handed is going to help a lot as well? I'm not sure he enjoy going right-handed.
He jumps right, don't he?
Track will be ideal.
He jumps right-handed.
I don't know.
When he won at Newbury, he was out to his right a little bit.
I just thought he looked awkward the other day.
You basically said he couldn't win at Cheltenham, didn't you?
I don't think he can, no.
Yeah. No, good. He's finally standing by one of these. You said he's flat track, and of course we know that the point he won at is like a pancake, isn't it? It's pancake flat.
Yeah, I think I probably said he had to prove himself on an undulating track. But sure. I don't think he can win at Cheltenham.
You can check these things out, You always go back and watch out for the things we've
said. Pied Piper, would he have to go to Cheltenham?
Who?
Gordon's other horse.
Pied Piper?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, what? As in miss it out?
He's owned by the same people. There's plenty of good races.
Yeah,
isn't there?
We will find out very shortly.
There's
And
a-
it's
there's
just
a
a
great one.
fascinating
You'd think those
narrative.
people are involved they want runners in Chelsea.
Yeah, no, I see that. I get that, Barry. I'm just saying to try and find the fit if Fildor wins impressively today, and like you say, they got Mighty Potter for the Supreme. It just becomes difficult to know where he's going to go, doesn't it, or not?
This is why you watch this show out there, guys, isn't it? Because you get this fly-on-the-wall chat that we love to have. You get the best brains in the business going up against themselves, really analysing it. And the chess pieces, we know what it's like. These camps, they wait until the very last minute. The chess pieces are yet to be set on the board.
This is when we're starting to learn. I wrote that column yesterday in the Post saying the Irish...
Oh, how did it go? Your debut column?
Yeah.
I didn't read it, which is poor of me. I had a busy day after recording yesterday. But did you basically say what I thought you were going to?
Yesterday was the right day to say that the Irish Grade 1 novice hurdles so far have been ranked bad races. Because, of course, these ones this weekend probably won't be.
Oh, so you got it in before the
I got
tide
it
turns.
in before it turned.
He's a quite interesting horse here, isn't he? The Tide Turns, the other Elliott horse here. He's an ex-Mark Prescott horse. I always think they want more of a test than 2 miles. Alan King gets these types as well, these juveniles that tend to want at least 1 mile 4, 2 mile on the flat. And they never want 2 mile over hurdles. But to win first time up, I was relatively impressed with him. I bet a few of you are sticking a few quid on him, aren't you? I mean, we all know that Sir Mark Prescott, when he sells his horses, of course, who was the best of them? English Drever, of course. You know, it used to be a school to go to, didn't it? It's not just about the top 3 in the betting, I don't think, this race. But we'll be looking out for Boodle's finishers as well, won't we, in this?
The Vauban does bring Pied Piper into it because he obviously was second to him last
He
time,
arguably should have beaten him, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
The counter to that is that Pied Piper wasn't really expected that day.
No.
Big baby, and he's come on tons since. Apparently.
Yeah. The tongue strap you mentioned.
Slightly worrying, isn't it?
For what reason?
Well, when Ruby is
It
on...
means the horse has got a slight problem, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then
It's an aid.
If he ran last time, was an unlucky loser without it, and then they've used it at home and they think it's improved the horse.
Well, look, tongue
why does
ties
it have
for
to be a
horses with
negative?
slight breathing issues.
Of course they do, but I mean sometimes it can just be that they feel like maybe that he's
Does it suggest he made a noise potentially?
potentially,
yeah.
but it could also be that they think he's getting his tongue in the way, like that he's not racing correctly, and they're using it to try and improve the performance.
Paul Keeley's mad keen on this, isn't he?
What, Vauban?
Yeah,
Is it?
Vauban. He put him up.
I've heard Ruby say several times before that if you see a tongue strap go on, it's always alarm bells in Ireland.
Well, it sort of is because there are
They
wind operations available.
don't have to
out there.
declare wind ops in Ireland, do they?
No, they don't.
But so many horses improve for having a tongue
That's
strap on.
strange, isn't it? They need to catch up on that front, don't they?
What, the wind op declarations?
definitely.
It
only took them 10 years to get the remounting
I
thing.
think it's been a great addition to British understanding of horses, wind operations. So it'd be good to have one.
Yeah,
for
there was a
Ireland,
lot of industry
yeah.
disgust at it, wasn't there? Should we say? Certainly discontent, that's for sure. They didn't want it, the trainers, did they, at all? Because
We've learned more about
hundreds of-
horses though from knowing when they're having wind ops, when they're not.
We are talking about Vauban, of course. Let's go back to Barry then. We've spoken. It looked like he was going to challenge Fedor during the week, Barry, for favouritism. However, he has been a bit of a drifter, hasn't he? And they are now coming for the other one.
Yeah, he's just into 3.25 now, having been 3.6. So there is a small nibble at him at bigger prices. 242 Fildor, 6 I Care Alan. An interesting one, Vidali, Rachel Blackmore down the bottom of the mare in the race, or the filly in the race. It'd be interesting to see how she runs. They're pitching her in here first time. They must think a lot of her, and she's again a Kenny Alexander. And we all know about his mares that he has in training, not least Honeysuckle. But yeah, your favourite strengthening at the head of the market, 2.38 now. It looks like they've been called in.
Has Kenny Alexander ever had a gelding? They're just all mares, aren't they? I mean, but I'm sure he has, but it's obviously a breeding operation. He's just like they've got the best mares you've ever seen, haven't they? And anyway,
They're off.
we're off and running. What an absolute great time it is to be on planet Earth then, and what a time it must be to be at Leopardstown. Great to see no concrete and no grass, just bobbing heads everywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, you can take us to the track. You can listen to us there. I'm sure you are. Let us know where you are. Who is taking up the running here
Scenic
then?
Look.
Fedor, unsurprisingly, the grinding Fedor, is in third at the moment. Ben Siegel, I saw some love for that in the chat. He's on the inside for Team Mead. And again, pressure's off Noel Mead on weekends like this these days, isn't it? Very much so. But up front, we've got Scenic Look, the big outsider of the pack, thankfully putting some pace into it. Looking out the back, slightly unexposed, but could Danny Mullins pull off another shock here because he's got Il Ete Tomp right out the back. First time for Mullins today. See what we get out of this. Could this be potentially one for the Boodles? We will find out. Where's the Tide Turns? Taking a bit of a keen hold in midfield. Vauban out the back as well. Great jump that by Fedor. The recent listed winner at, was it Aintree, 6 feet apart, is with us as well. Oh, Doncaster, of course, wasn't it? So look, this is a decent. I'm just looking at Iker Allen, Barry. They're being very patient with him. He's a tiny bit keen.
Yeah, jumped a bit slow the first couple of hurls, but there's not a whole lot between first to last here. But your favourites strengthened significantly into even money now at a Betfair SP of 11 to 8, 2.36. But he's right on the bunny. He's just tailing Scenic Look, the rag of the race. He might even take it up now when they turn into the back straight. But they're all travelling well in themselves. But favourite odds on now, 1.92.
Thank you, Barry. OK, right. So the Fav goes odds on. He's in a lovely position, isn't he? And Paul Townend alive to that, Posty, because he's getting closer.
Yeah, Paul Townend switched out a bit and he sort of managed to latch onto the back of Fieldor. He's obviously aware that, I mean, seemingly from where we're watching here, that they're not going an overly quick gallop. And Fieldor is sort of ideally positioned now to strike as and when he wants.
We're split screen at the moment, G, but I can guarantee you it would say 29 miles per hour on the clock.
He's jumping well, the Fav, isn't he? That's
Beautiful.
the thing. He's travelling and jumping beautifully in a nice rhythm, just up on the outside of the leader. Scenic Look. That's your third time, whatever he's called, coming through the middle there, Dave.
Tide Turns or whatever, isn't it?
Tide
Yeah, you're
Turns,
tempted to say the third turn or whatever.
Vauban just behind them.
Yeah, again, he's also having a bit of a tug, but that's not a problem. Again, not really turning up with the jumping, is he, a car then? Could he be one that goes to the Poodles after this? We'll find out, because they are on the far side. Beautiful ground, as Gordon Elliott said during the week. There's been a lot been said, of course, isn't there, about the position of this in the calendar. Last year, it bucketed down. Happy days. We saw 11 winners come from this at the Cheltenham Festival. Will it be the same? Will the ground stay? Are we ever going to get some more rain again this winter? That would be nice, wouldn't it? All right, not often we say that. They are approaching the far side. And I don't know, there's been a little bit of rain there, obviously, because the camera's got a few glitches
Will this
on
be
it.
the second last that they're coming to now? They have one on the bend, don't they?
Yeah. I think this is the second
Third
last.
last.
Third last.
Third
okay, on
last,
the bend.
is it?
There we go.
Or second last, yeah, second last. Yeah.
All right, let's get it right.
Vauban
This is a tricky hurdle, this, Barry, isn't it? It can
Going to
catch
turn
him
into a
out.
sprint, isn't it? By the
Yeah,
looks of it?
very much, yeah.
I mean, you could throw a bucket of water over a lot of them at the moment.
That
to
won't
coin a
suit the
phrase.
favourite. He's out to 2.22 now.
Look at the Tide Turns. He'd only ever run on the all-weather before joining Elliott. He's absolutely cruising behind Fedor at the moment. Let's see then. When's he going to turn it on then?
Good jump by the Fav.
Davy Russell then must be very
Yeah,
very
that's
happy
the
with his
front,
going.
even money.
Let's have a look then. Ikara Len, he's a
through by
classy
Claire
horse.
Allen.
This is a classy horse, this JP
Oh.
Manus thing. And look at the 4-horse as well, the debutant.
Vauban is cruising.
Vauban's absolutely cruising. Fedor in trouble.
What's he
He
gonna
doesn't
find? What's he
like the
gonna
way
find
this has
here?
run out. He's trying his heart out, Fedor. This is a classy horse then, Vauban. This is what they're expecting home. Could this be 2-2 for Mullins? And the first two races, Fedor doing his
Not finding
absolute
much.
best.
Over yet.
It's all on the last jump. He's come inside him. Clever riding
Jumped
out
it
from
well.
Townend. Fedor going too fast, wasn't great at the last.
Is he going to
What a
stop,
high
Dave?
catch
I
on
think
his
he might
third.
stop.
No, Vauban's gone. Never mind the tongue tie, says Paul Keeley and
Oh,
Rich
very
Ritchie.
good.
I've got one here. We'll go to Barry for race reaction in just a sec. But the sprint, the race, what do we do with the form, guys?
I mean, look, I'm taking nothing away from the winner. I thought that was mightily impressive, but it was a very messy contest. We know that is definitely not what Fieldor wants for sure, and he wanted a much more strongly run race than that. So I'd be inclined to forgive him marginally, but it's a very good from the winner. No, I mean the tongue strap seems to have made a massive.
He walked through the last, didn't he, when he beat Pied Piper. We'll be talking about Pied Piper now. Barry, just tell us about the story of the race and then some anti-post reaction.
Yeah, your favourite hit low, 1.84 Fieldor when it took it up turning into the straight. Vauban had a Betfair SP of 3.55. We did mark him up as a bit of a negative because they were so close in the betting when we first went up with the race. But he's a Betfair SP at 3.55. Claire Allen traded at a short of 5-2. Nothing just yet. Or hold on, if you give me 2 seconds now, I'll get you a quote, see what they're doing. 11-4 from 6. So 11-4 from 6. Fieldor 6 from 3 for the Triumph Hurdle. Vauban 11-4 from 6. So second favourite behind Pied Piper, who's 5-2.
Thank you, Barry. All right, you can see the anti-post exchange market up there as well. Okay then, this is your time, isn't it, to send into the gallery. Let us know. What do you make of the Triumph after that? And this was the one race socially that we were finding was spiking. All the interaction was up there because of Pied Piper last week. That's the tick for him, isn't it? I think he's hardening there, you can see on the exchange as well. What do we do with Fedor? Again, just wasn't one to suit. He didn't obviously want to lead on it, did he?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose look, reflecting now, you're kind of surprised Davy Russell didn't take the race by the scruff of the neck a little bit more and press mid-race, because Barry called it running down the 2 out that it definitely wasn't going to suit the favourite, and you could see they went from all being in a bunch travelling to a sprint, and as soon as they started sprinting, that Fildor looked very much on the back foot. He needed a good jump at the last,
he didn't get it.
which he didn't get.
Is that because he's going too quick?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? He's having to go into top
exactly.
First
and
to
Davy
fifth gear.
Russell's going for broke, isn't he? He needs a big jump, which wasn't really there.
That was a right old eye catcher, the third G, wasn't it?
Well, Ikea
No, Ilate Tomp. First,
that thing.
it's in the I'm going to say in the Echoes in Rain colours.
Yeah, do you think he might end up in the
stud,
Boodles,
isn't it?
possibly?
Well, he's almost run a bit
How
too
many
well, hasn't he?
graded horses have we seen, like running graded horses and then go into
Go
Cheltenham
back.
for handicaps? It does happen.
It
especially
does
with
happen.
Mullins.
Whether they're the winners or not, I'm not sure.
I don't think that you're shaking in your boots if you're the British juveniles after that.
You love a bit of this, don't you?
I don't think you are.
I think they're streets apart.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not sure. I mean, Pied Piper maybe, but I'm not sure.
Well, what's the best of the
I
British?
think
What's the best of the
Yeah.
British 4-year-old?
Exactly. You're scratching
Name me one.
around.
Night Salute?
Nights, you're going.
Only the one chance.
I think any of the first 4 or 5 there is better than the best of what we have, personally.
Yeah. I mean, look, Night Salute is the one that turns up and does it. We've got the Adonis still to come, of course, on the 26th, which will be coming here on RP Live as well. But have we just seen another rather classy model? And 2 races down, Barry, or both gone back to close Sutton.
Yeah, it's a Willie Mullins benefit so far. It's bad news for the bookmakers for sure, because there's all sorts of multiples running up. You'll find fancied horses of his throughout the remainder of the card as well. But obviously, what was your question?
I said, are you starting to get... Well, 2 races down, both go to Mullins. One fancied one here. Outsiders, they're all winning as well. It's got an ominous look about it, hasn't it? It's the handicaps. I saw your piece in the paper yesterday on Friday where you basically said the handicaps that determine whether we have a terrible week or not.
Yeah, well, like Blue Lord you've got as well, and you have Asterion Falange. It looks like he's going to go off favourite 2 Willie Mullins horses, and then you've Facile Vega in the bumper as well. That seems to be well punted. So there's all sorts of multiples running up across the Willie Mullins runners today. I suppose it's a bit of it's a bit of reprieve, I suppose, if anything. That the one in the first was an 11-1 chance. He wasn't the most fancied of the Willie Mullins runners, so that's a bit of a help. But he was fancied in terms of, anyone doing a bet this morning would have stuck him in. And obviously a Blue Lord, Facile Vega in there as well. I think when I was talking to you guys yesterday, that treble was working out around 10-1. It's considerably bigger now, obviously, with that being returned 5-2. He was 13-8 when I was talking about him yesterday.
My goodness, we've got Sir Gerhard to go as well for the team, and we've got Honeysuckle. It's all to come. But we must go back to Sandown. One thing I will tell you about Vauban, he looks like a proper 2-miler, doesn't he? And he's going to jump a fence down the line as well. Exciting times then. So let us know. Get your shouts in. What's your best bet of the day? Let's hear from you. It's an interactive show out there. We will get a chance, of course. Spotlight verdict, though. You can see, here he is. The vote goes to... Oh my Goshen, it's time, isn't it? Of course, for the contenders race. This is usually something that warms up for the champion hurdle. I'm sure something will run in it, but whether we see a champion hurdle horse or not, I'm not sure. The market's not helping us, Barry, at all, is it?
No, it's very, very tight at the top. The 3 horses, as you'd expect. Guard Your Dreams, 3.1. 3.5 Goshen, Song for Someone, 3.75. Guard Your Dream. Wonderful warrior of a horse. Obviously won the international when it looked to me, Song from Someone wanted to turn it up. Passing the winning post first time round when we was going out onto the back, the turn at the top of the track there, he looked like he wanted to pull himself up. So he's not a horse I think is in love with racing. Having said that, he did run on well that day, and he's only just beaten. He traded nearly even money in running in the international. But Guard Your Dreams, I like him. I like Goshen back going the right way as well, going right-handed. Hunter's Call, there's been a few quid for that. The old man of the party, he's into 13.5. So I'm going to lay Song for Someone here, please, G-Rod. We're going to take 50 quid of the backer's stake, looking to lay him at 3.65. Happy to be a price taker at that. Like I said, I don't think he's in love with the game, and he's a horse that looks like he's got his own opinions after what I saw in Cheltenham last day.
All right, thank you, Barry. Okay, so yeah, listen, you get the feeling a lot of this revolves around Goshen, don't you? They're going for the double, we hear the owners as well, because they won the first race. Well, shall we have one more? Same colours, of course. It was around this time last year, wasn't it, that Goshen arrived back onto the scene at Wincanton, where he thrashed Song for Someone. I want to come to you here, G, because as we were doing our selections earlier to send to the gallery and make all the graphics, we did almost the identical thing, didn't we?
Yeah, we both fancied Goshen and then changed our mind.
At the last minute.
Have gone for the horse that Barry laid.
I mean, he looked like the most disinterested horse last
And I thought
week.
you both just preached to everyone that the overthinking punting is the cardinal sin.
It's more that I couldn't
did.
let Song for Someone go. I think he's better going right-handed. I think this is definitely more up his street. But last time, Aidan Coleman must have got off him, mustn't he, and been infuriated.
I think this course might suit him.
Yeah, I think it will.
I think I can see him being off the bridle
Loves
at the
Ascot,
bottom of
doesn't
the
he?
hill, yeah. And then I can see him storming up the hill and seeing them all off. Because Goshen's going to, he's a funny horse, isn't he? We know he is. Guard Your Dreams is absolutely rock solid. He's going to run us to a certain level, and if you don't run to that level, you won't beat him. But he isn't an outstanding horse. And I think if Song for Someone's with them, turning home, he will win. But
What
will
about
he
the
be with
ground
them?
for Goshen? I can see Sam Caney, one of our new regulars on the show, saying Goshen will not win, needs it heavy. Chris Hall out there also says, has Bruce Goshington backed Goshen by 5 lengths or more? Some conjecture last night on one of our feature shows. Tom Segal basically saying this is his, he wins.
I don't think he needs heavy ground.
Well, he needs some juice, doesn't he? What are the grounds at? What are those two?
We got time.
So we're both Song for Someone.
I'm just going with Guard Your Dreams just because I just think he's straightforward.
He definitely is the most straightforward in the race,
As in, like, Goshen, there's every chance, like you say, going back this way round, he could just blitz them, couldn't he? Because he's got that freakish natural ability, but what goes on in between his ears, your guess is as good as mine.
Hey, listen, we can all relate
He's
to
the
that.
Graeme Rodway of horses.
I tell you what, absolutely, the Goshen Rodway. I like it very much.
Careful, be pulling those goggles down in a minute, carry on like that.
Well, they are putting the goals down. Global Citizen, he came back to form last time. Did anyone give him a shout? We got lovely old hunters called. The race wasn't run suited at all at ADOT last time. And they are your outsiders as well, both classy horses. Classy little race, isn't it? Without being, I don't know, it's a race for now, isn't it? So we should definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is the one division where you're not going to be bigging up the British horses, isn't it? The 2 mile hurdler division. We haven't really got a good 2 mile hurdler, but we've got some half decent ones, and here they are.
Yeah, here they are, and we're sort of watching them jockey for position. When Jamie
Does
Moore,
it look like someone wants to jump off in front and make off?
come on, don't get me worried already. Let me just have a look at the times. Slow Boy 18 seconds. The first race is a funny race, but shall we have one more? Flew off, didn't he? So look, there's a good juice in it still. It's slightly quicker on the chase course as usual at Sandown. The first race that we covered, the 1:15, that was just under 10
I
seconds
think
slow.
what they're going to do with something, they're going to try and jump him off in front to almost get him interested and into the race. They keep having him out the rear and he gets disinterested.
I thought they might try and do it with Goshen today, but can he do it? After he got off him last time at Lingfield, it was a great interview, wasn't it? He was absolutely livid, wasn't he? And Jamie Moore, one of the moments of the season where he basically just said he's going to have to go headgear. Obviously, Dad's had his way.
I think they thought he was going to win last time, and he obviously ran a cracker. But we're forgetting Global Citizen as well. Of course, he's an absolute confirmed front runner, isn't he? So he's going to. There could be a lot of pace on, couldn't there?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So look,
They're off.
We're off and running. Goshen had to think about it, didn't he?
So a bit of a messy start.
Yeah.
No, Global Citizen.
Song for
dive
someone
left.
getting a slap down the shoulder.
Song for someone off the bridle already.
Yeah, well, that wasn't very good starting, was it? From
We
the
should
start?
put- we should
They
put-
weren't
No,
ready
it's
to
not
go,
the
was
starter's
they?
fault. Global Citizen dived left and
They
cannoned into
weren't
him.
ready to go.
Are you making excuses for someone already?
Yeah.
Look, let's reserve judgment until he gets to the bottom of the hill. We should put David Maxwell on
You
Song
know
for
my
someone.
faults on starters, Dave.
All right, yeah, I do
Well, through
indeed.
the
Hunter's
first,
call wasn't
anyway.
great there at the back. This is again the old boy. He's taken off his feet already. That was the case at Haydock, wasn't it, as well last time? But duelling up front, they definitely wanted to make it with Goshen. He's a little bit sweaty, Goshen, as well. Probably not a worry with him, I wouldn't imagine. Guard Your Dream's been a bit sketchy over the first 2. He's in 3rd. Song for Someone is going better already.
Can you say that you should put an extra 0 on his name?
What? Who on? Song for Someone?
Yeah, on Song for Someone.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to... I really should, shouldn't I? No, but at this moment, no, they're all going absolutely fine. Posty.
So you're chucking to me out saying they're all going absolutely fine. Yeah, I mean, we've got Global Citizen, Goshen dueling for it. I mean, I think Jamie Moore, after being livid last time, is going to leave nothing to chance here. Down the paint on Goshen. He's
What
going to try and
speed are
make
they
his
going,
mind up.
Charlie?
Speed? I mean, look, if we're looking at the speedometer on the TV here, I mean, just a sensible gallop, Barry, sort of getting 28, 29 miles an hour. I mean, visually, to me, it looks like they're going stronger than that. But what do you think?
When I look at that clock on the screen, right, on our TV, it's almost like my weeks and months just flash in front of my eyes. And here I am again, seeing 30 miles an hour.
According to that, it's gone from 29 to 34 in a matter of
I just can't believe that's correct. I don't know.
Well, global, it's not always correct, I don't think. In the analysis department, there's a lot of conjecture about that.
That was right, because they run downhill.
But they have injected pace into this race, because Global Citizen has been allowed his head.
They just ran down the hill, Dave, so they went fast. They're not injecting pace.
Graeme, he's gone 5 lengths clear, man, of the rest of the pack. He's definitely. Look, come on, Goshen, sort your brain out.
Say it now. What price?
Now you can put another 0 on Song for Someone. Look, he's gone right to the back.
No, you can't. He's only this is the same thing happened in Cheltenham, and he ran on to finish second. He's only just beat by Guard Your Dreams. He's only at the 4.3. So the exchange player's not overreacting to Song for Someone, kind of falling out the back.
They know once Song for Someone.
Barry's laid him, of course. You can see on the screen.
They know once Song for Someone gets
round
the bend.
There's a lot of double bluffing going on in this studio.
Once he gets round the bend and he sees home, he'll take off, won't he? Because he knows exactly where he's going.
Of course, Guard Your Dreams, one for this, it's been just a friend of the show,
9.6 Song for Someone.
He's absolutely gone, isn't he? It's sad to see, really.
This is what I was saying in Cheltenham, pull him up, and he's still running on. He's afraid that evens in Cheltenham, so Aidan Coleman won't be giving up, especially after Paisley Park last week.
Well, listen, let's see how they get on up the hill, because they're trying to do what they did in the first race. They're cutting
each other's throats here a bit again.
This is the thing, isn't it? Global Citizen is a flat track horse as well.
Are you confident here, Poste? Are you confident? We're coming back here, Dave. Go on, John.
Here he comes. He's finally interested again.
Into 6.6 Song for Someone.
He's about.
Are they trying this guy over 3 miles? I bet they will after this race. He is actually starting to show interest.
He's going to take off.
We're turning in. You can see the
6-4 on Goshen.
6-4 on Goshen. The double is on. Will it be 5 lengths or more? People will be saying at the track. All right, Global Citizen looks like he's cracked. Has Goshen got it in to hold on? Song for Someone's the only possible danger, but he's about 10 lengths off him.
Front yet, is he?
Well, it's all right. He might get there.
Front now.
Yeah, Goshen's got this as long as he just keeps up this gallop. That's the thing. I mean, Global Citizen, like I said, flat track for him. He wants slightly better ground as well.
Good jump by Goshen.
Jumps it really well as well. So are we just now going to set our clocks each season? Song for Someone will do, but this guy's just got to be headgear for him, hasn't it?
He's gone at the game.
Yeah, he does look like he's gone at the game a little bit.
They
are walking to the last. Goshen is well clear. Over he goes. That's always a slight worry, isn't it? We can now set our clocks before Cheltenham that Goshen will bounce back to form. And we will now be talking about which race he goes for after the race. Guard Your Dreams probably looked like he's had a bit of a hard season there to me, running on again after hitting a bit of a flat spot. But the double was landed. Fair play to the Moore team out there. They're having a superb 2022 at the moment. Guard Your Dreams just pips the gallant Global Citizen for second. Song for Someone. Ooh, time to jump off that project. Well done, Barry. You knew.
He's gone at the game, I'd say, Song for Someone, even stepping him up in trip. Like the fly, as soon as they jumped off, he's getting a slap down his shoulder from Aidan Coleman. It's a bad sign. He looked the same. He was very unwilling conveyance in Cheltenham as well, although he did run on in Cheltenham, it has to be said, but he didn't run on today. Goshen never traded higher than his Betfair SP at 3.31 in running. No real in-running news there, only that Global Citizen, who had a Betfair SP of 17.8, trade at a low of 4.7, Global Citizen. That's the only in-running angle there at all.
What's he rated on the flat these days, Goshen? He's got a rating of 87. Can we all agree that he needs to go right-handed now? We can all agree that, yeah? I mean, you're sort of saying that, but they do try him left-handed because that's where the crown jewels tend to be, don't they?
I know it is, but I mean, it's surely an impossible dream to think.
So what do we do now if you're Gary Moore? Do you try and persuade the owners to stay right-handed, come back for the final meeting of the season at Sandown? Gary,
you're either there or Punchestown, haven't you?
I hope you're listening, Gary. And then we can go to Royal Ascot for the Ascot Stakes.
Yeah, he's a funny horse, isn't he? He's a funny horse.
You're gutted, aren't you, that you'd listened to me and we did the final jump off?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried that we jumped off him. I'm worried what's going on between our heads.
Do you not think there's an element they should just enjoy today?
Yeah, I think probably right.
Of course, absolutely. But we're trying to... But always with Goshen, is because of what happened in the Triumph a couple of seasons ago, everyone still believes that he should have been the next coming, shouldn't they? And probably when the engine that they see at home must be something freaky.
But visually, did that not just look like an ordinary race and he just kind of plodded on better than a load of others?
He outstayed Global Citizen, didn't he? Definitely wants a flat track and better ground.
And Guard Your Dreams looked like he had a long testing season. Song for Someone looks like he wants to be on a psychiatrist's couch tomorrow because, I mean...
Poor old Tom Simmons will be like, what am I going to do with this chap?
And I agree with Barry. I mean, going up in trip has got nothing to do with it. You don't want to jump off. Never mind an extra.
Has he ever worn headgear? Song for someone. Let's have a quick look at that.
I think they might have tried it, did they not? Or are they just... That's just me, isn't it?
No, that's just you. That's just your Goshen mind thinking that. Well, that's
That's
the
got to be the next step, hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, what is his race? Who knows?
I don't know. Goshen could also
maybe
go to
maybe 3
Punchestown,
miles.
I suppose.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
He stays 2.5, didn't he? Song for someone. He won that race at Ascot.
That was the second race then of plenty we are bringing you at Sandown. Next up will be the Grade 1 Scilly Isles. Lots to say about that. Before we do, let me just remind you of the Members Club offer that we have out there. Members Club Ultimate. There it is then. Normal price, £34.95. But if you join, that's per month of course, the first 3 months will be £15 only. So there you go, using the link in the video description, you can get involved. Breaking news, exclusive, big interviews. You can read Rodway's column if you're brave enough. And get it all, actually. So a really good time coming up. What are you thinking? You taking the goggles off now?
Take the goggles off for a minute,
You've got a alarming tattoo on your hand today as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Me and
tattoo.
Posty are witnessing this.
I keep looking at it.
Show everyone else. What is this?
It's my son's birthday yesterday, and he had a football party. So
Many happy returns.
Yeah, so all the kids tattooed me with football tattoos, and I couldn't get them off this morning.
It's our head of video and social, Nick Rostron Pike. It's his daughter's first birthday today.
Is it?
It's his birthday season.
Yeah.
Or I thought he'd gone to some very random nightclub.
Like in West Ham.
In the past, not now.
He's got a little football on his hand, if you didn't see that. It's been perplexing me somewhat. But all right, listen, we're having fun. We're starting to chug along. I'm delighted to say it's time to go north of the border. I say I'm delighted to say it. It's a tricky old card up there, Barry Orr. 205.
This is my nap of the day, Dave. Cool mix. Really, really like this horse. Obviously, his first run this year, he was beaten 10 lengths by Definite Plan and the Hollow Ginge in Cheltenham in October. Then he was beaten 13 lengths by I Right and Good Boy Bobby in the Betfair Rehearsal Chase at Newcastle. And last time out, he was third to Kaluki and the Cat Tiger. He's been dropped £4 for those 3 runs. He's now rated 126 and he's into veteran company. Okay, the last time he raced off 126, he won. He beat Sky Pirate, who's now rated 157, and he beat Storm Control that day, who's now rated 141. I think 126 into this company is a massive, massive thing for this horse. The owner, Dave Armstrong, had a treble during the week up in Newcastle. I think this is going to round off a perfect week for him by winning this race. We're going to have 50 quid win on him, G-Rod. Currently 4.1. Happy to be a price taker here. Win only. Cool mix.
Lots to like about him, Barry, I think, isn't it? And the market has now certainly found his way. Are we on, G?
Yeah, we're on £50 at 4.1. So I don't think it'll win though. I think the Valadom is the one.
Well, all right, okay, fine. So you're poo-pooing it. Like, just to say, for all the reasons that Barry said, it's cool mix for me. He's been to Musselburgh 3 times, placed on twice, and he is in much calmer waters today. I love horses like that. You see, I mean, he's got rehearsal chase form, this guy, hasn't he? So if he gets into a nice rhythm, I think he'll take all the beating as well. But Valadon,
and he's grey. I'm surprised G-Rod sold.
Yeah, they jump better, don't they?
Like a book.
You've never seen anything bunny-like.
He is a loser, isn't he? He's a professional loser.
Valadom's grey as well, isn't he?
I mean,
Yeah, Valadom's grey, I think. Yeah.
well, I'm looking at my screen at the moment. I reckon he's got as much wins as Valadom in the last 10 races.
Hold on. We're comparing him with yourself. He finishes like second and third all the
Valadom
time.
went off like a scolded cat in the Veterans Final.
Exactly.
Did he not have a hard race?
He's beaten 23 lengths, but he ran a ridiculous pace.
They were going to retire him, I seem to remember. So it's interesting that they brought him back.
He went absolutely nuts in that. He ran an amazing race.
Lily Pinchin retains the ride.
Yeah, I think that this will be another race where they jump off in front and the 3 mile handicap chase or whatever it is, and they don't get to him, do they?
Well, it is interesting that the 2 that we've put up now, by the way, they do like to get on with it. A lot of love out there for Glenn Forcer, isn't there, as well? Keel's napped this. I think this is his Musselburgh banker, if you're looking on the
Well, he was
club.
behind Cole Mix, wasn't he, last time at Donny?
I mean, he has dropped in the handicap for a reason, this bloke.
They paid a lot of money for him.
Out of the Radfords.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at one point a sort of very
His
good
favourite
horse.
for...
The Arkle, wasn't it?
So he's fancied for it anyway,
He
wasn't he?
didn't get
he
past the
was,
second fence or something,
Yeah.
did you remember? It all went downhill after that.
Yeah.
Posty, this is the sort of race where I should be coming to you, really, because this is what we know as called a boys' race. And one of yours is in here, at least one of yours, isn't it?
Few in here.
Go on.
Lewis Stones,
Right.
good chance. Calypso.
What can you
Colons.
tell us about Lewis?
Do you know? I actually think he's really good value. He's one of the, I don't know why he doesn't ride. I don't know why he doesn't get more winners. If you know, he rides plenty of horses that run well at big prices. Rides really good race, and he's just one of those. It hasn't really clicked for him. You know.
Have you been on the phone to him today saying? Because you are a coach.
Yeah, I spoke to. I messaged him this morning and wished him good luck and all that. As in, look, this is a lot calmer waters for Calypso Collonge as well than the Tommy Whittle last time. He's in. I'd be slightly concerned with him with the sharp nature of this track on better
Can get
ground.
behind, can't he? I remember I fancied him for a Welsh National Cup season.
I mean, they've been riding him much more positively recently, but it's whether he can be ridden that positively. The gallop they're going to possibly go around there on the.
So that's Lewis Stones. You'll be a keen interest in him, and Charlie Todd, obviously.
Charlie Todd as well. Psychedelic Rock.
It's a well-named horse for Charlie, I would imagine. He's a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a character. Yeah, Ian's are just a bit. They're not really far in the jumpers.
Interesting.
I don't think that much.
A trainer that you never think would be out of form, Ian Williams.
No, but I kind of wonder with him, like with the flat sort of jumping, maybe the ground at this time of year isn't really sort of to the liking of plenty of his horses. And then the other one since he turned conditional, I've come on board as his coach. Not that he needs a heck of a lot of coaches. Jack Andrews.
The tallest conditional I think we'll ever see. Yeah. Is that right?
I mean, look, he's ridden over 100 point-to-point winners.
He comes from that family, doesn't he?
Yeah. Very good rider, and his dedication to his weight. I mean,
now Ellis and Skelton, of course.
And so I'm actually going with Jack in this Broken Quest. To be honest, as in
he deserves a turn, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, he's been running well. I mean, and I think in a race of this nature, having someone like Jack Andrews on your side is not a bad thing because, like I say, he's ridden more winners collectively than plenty of full professional jockeys.
Okay, great stuff. You've heard the selections there. You can see Barry's down there. Cool mix. Nap of the day for Barry. We could do with one of those going in, that's for sure. We'll be keeping an eye on the 210 at Leopardstown as well. Riviere de Tel up against Blue Lord and St. Sam and the likes. They come for the other one as well, haven't they, Mullins? Could Willie Mullins make it 3 from 3 on the day already at the Dublin Racing Festival?
We should probably say that today is the launch of the new analysis centre on the Racing Post website.
Here we go.
And I'm just reading it now. Robbie Wilders, our new tipster, will be making an appearance on the show at some point.
It's slightly daunting that Wilders is going to be coming near the studio at some point, isn't it? We will be. If you don't know who Robbie Wilders is, he's the anti-postman. And he has delivered over Christmas.
He did, yeah.
He does somehow.
I can't remember the name of the horse, but
Schoolboy Hours it was in the Paddy Power.
Schoolboy Hours in the Paddy
Power. He's got an interesting way of looking at racing, and he's taken over from the departed Tom Collins. Who's gone on, and it's a great step up for Robbie, isn't it? We're excited about him. Actually,
yeah, we're looking forward to Robbie coming in and giving us some interesting opinions because he, like you say, he's got a quirky way of looking at racing, which is sort of not quite on the G-Rod level, but he's not far away, is he? And he says Vauban gets my vote for the Triumph.
Is that what he said? Okay, yeah. So what about the rest of you out there? We'll try and build some social interaction after this race. We've got a little bit of time until the 2:20 after this, so we'll do our very best to give you a shout out there. Welcome along. If you're just joining the party, it's about to ramp up.
Is that post-race
today? Post Live.
Post-race, yeah.
Yeah.
Post-race analysis.
Yeah, as in I didn't know if what you were saying that G-Rod was flagging up the fact that he'd flagged that up before today's race.
It's post-race from the anti-postman.
The anti-postman. He has delivered something in the Post recently, hasn't he? He did something the other day. Anyway, we'll get to it. I'm sure you've been seeing that out there. He coined that phrase himself, just to let you know the sort of character he is. Right, okay, Barry, they're about to go off. Hardening all the time. Is he cool mix?
Yeah, 11 to 4 cool mix. 92 Glenfor's in a 5.366. Calypso, Valdrom 7.688. Broken Quest and 19 Bar.
Got two lovely greys in this. Look,
looks like Valadon is going to be ridden this positively.
I'll tell you what, and the one thing is that you weren't expecting, G, she has properly put the anchor down this time on Valadon. And it's Charlie Todd, one of Poste's little proteges. I said little, I shouldn't have said that, should I? One of Charlie's Post proteges that's duelling up front with Cool Mix, so he needs to get on with it, Cool Mix. Glenn Forser, interestingly, adopts third. Calypso Collonge taking a keen hold in fourth, but that's a lovely little sit he's got on the inside. In the middle there, let's have a look down. What is that?
Boys on Tour.
Boys on Tour, of course. First-time cheek pieces for the Queen of Scottish Racing, Lucinda Russell, Patrick Wodge, a name I've not heard of. Do you know much about Patrick?
Not an awful lot about
Obviously
Patrick.
Attached to the stable, isn't he? Because he's taking 10 off the back. Okay, what about out the back then? Valadom out the back. Let's bring you in then. Goshen Rodway.
Goshen, yeah.
That was a big jump.
It was a flyer.
From Cool Mix.
It's the greys.
I don't. Oh, the grey.
That's what it is.
I'll tell you what, I'm right on the inside.
I'm not very happy about this ride.
Brotherly Company is the one out the back, just to let you know.
Why would you suddenly change tactics on Validon?
Well, because he ran himself into the ground last time.
Well, you don't run him then if he's not right, do you?
Was your thesis on this race to think sharper track, do what you did last time,
Yeah, and you'll win.
I mean, Matty Batch, who joins us tomorrow, by the way, Batch, he says that this is the sharpest track he's ridden on. I thought Fakenham would be the one, but he said that. Would you attest to that? Did you ride much at Musselburgh?
Yeah, I rode up there a bit. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a very speedy track. Whether I'd say it's the sharpest track, I mean, I'd be inclined to agree that Fakenham is even quicker than this.
He seemed to think from 2 out of Fakenham, you're on the climb. It always fascinates me.
Cool Mix is jumping left, by the way, markedly.
But now in front, and he's absolutely full of himself, and they're not going much of a pace. What are they? If we look at the clock.
28, no, 27.
Oh, so we now know they are definitely putting the anchor down. But he's out in front, Barry, in the nap. He must be nearly 2-1 now, is he?
Yeah, he's 94, 3.2, 4.2 Glen Forza, 5.6 Calypso Collage. He is jumping out to his left, which is a little bit of a concern. I wouldn't say massively from what I've seen, but it's definitely a concern. But he's getting a solo up front, which is a big help for him.
Yeah, can we have a word with Charlie, please, and tell him to go up there and stick it up to this horse, getting an easy lead.
Charlie Todd?
Yeah.
Have you? Did you
There
have
it
a
is
little?
now.
Yeah, there you go. They've just done it. Well, Glenn Forster, because he's going so well, Glenn Forster, that he's just jumped himself into a bit of the action. Let's have a look for Broken Quest as well, under
Dropped
Jack
in.
Andrews. Giving out the outside to no one.
No, yeah, on a shot.
Was that your instruction?
That was not my instruction.
Do you think this is riding to orders, though? Why is this horse being allowed such an easy lead? He's going 29, as always.
Well, I don't know. In these boys' races, as you call them, obviously boys and girls, but we call them boys' races because it's a junior sort of jockey race. Initial jockey, of course, yet to turn professional. That they can go a bit quick, can't they, in them? And they ill judge of pace. Is that what you talk to them about when you're coaching them?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean,
mouse?
we're trying to make them tactically aware and, like you say, not get sucked into a situation where they just go ridiculously fast and all take each other on.
Or do you just go to a fence and go, this is how you meet it?
Well, no. But I mean, I think what you can factor in here is that there is sometimes the case where you're that worried there's going to be loads of pace that no one actually ends up making the pace. And full professional races happen. That happens time and time again.
Yeah.
That you read through the form and go, oh, we don't want to make it today because there's going to be stacks of pace. And then, as it turns out, someone gets a freebie as Cool Mix.
This is like watching an all-weather race, isn't it?
I think...
Go on, Barry.
How much does strong wind affect a race like this, Charlie, a chase? Because I'm looking at the wind is really, really strong in Musselburgh. It's strong here in Leopardstown as well. I just heard Willie Mullen say Asterion Falange because he's a little bit. That strong wind will not suit him at all.
I mean, look, I think from what I'm watching here, Calypso Collage, Lewis Stones have got a perfect sit. He's got cover from the front and the side. I mean, there's no doubt if you're galloping into a headwind or a sidewind and you've got no cover from it, it's going to have an effect on your performance for sure. It's going to have a draining effect on the horse's ability to go and gallop.
Yeah, absolutely, very much so. Isn't that interesting about Asterion Falange? 3:15. Then, of course, we will see him come out.
Another grey, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. One that can't jump. All right, then. Out we go, then. It's Cool Mix out in front. Glenn Forster just travelled. Nothing travelled better than Glenn Forster. Paul Keeley was seen at Sandown earlier smoking a cigarette. I can guarantee he's gone through a packet at this point. Calypso Collage is there as well, Posty. At the moment, G, you're going to need to take the goggles off because it's a bad day so far.
Yeah, well, you can't win from back there on Validon. Got to go out and make it, haven't you? And
He's just got no turn of pace. I mean, Broken Quest's gone even worse, Posty.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, sort of wind blowing havoc, storm control all over again. Who remembers that last Saturday? All right,
is this going to win or is it going to get caught?
Glenn Forster's going to win this, isn't it?
Go on,
Barry?
Alan.
Surely. I think Glenn Forster, surely. He's okay.
Cool Mix your favourite at 2.32, 282.
He's a sitting duck, isn't he, as they jump off at Leopardstown from
Calypso
210.
6.
He is going well, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, he's definitely got something in his locker, I think. Psychedelic Rock now starting to crack slightly. Looking for what's in fourth there. Oh, that's Boys on Tour, isn't it? Surely this is Glenn Forster,
I think you might be right, Dave. Going well, isn't he, Glenn Forster?
I'd be having him way ahead of the grey. Listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, we'll find out whether he's got a hold in him now. Cool Mix valiantly battling on. Boys on Tour might be the closer if there is one. Calypso Collage, no more. But Glenn Forster toes to the front then. Must be going low on
He's
exchange
holding him
now.
together,
Yes,
isn't
he's
he?
not doing a great deal, is he, whatsoever? And definitely
Not really
Cool Mix
gone
is
for
the
him, though,
strongest
Dave.
stayer. Okay then, the deceptive run at Musselburgh. I don't know what Batch is on about sharpest. This is taking forever to run, isn't it?
jump.
Cool Mix doing his absolute best to go back.
Yeah, I don't
Glenn
think
Forster
he's
doing
gone for
nothing
him.
in front, but
No,
Lorcan
no,
Williams,
it's all over now.
one of the senior jockeys amongst them. Glenn Forster, well done if you followed him the Saturday Scissors. Paul Keeley, it was his banker. He's having an insufferably good day. and he goes and sees off Cool Mix. A valiant effect. Just let that little bit of a gear, didn't he? Hard work up at Musselburgh. I think we can say that, Barry Orr.
Yeah, the runner-up traded at a low at 2.26. That was the only real in-running news in the race. Dave, just looking at Leopardstown here where they've jumped off for the Irish Arkle. Blue Lord went off. Second favourite in that race, would you believe? River Detail went off favourite at 3.25.
Okay, St. Sam's leading over there. There was a bit of a worry about St. Sam.
Otan Calors has fallen.
Oh, has he? Okay, that was the one they went for. He's out of the race, so let's hope he's okay. They're strong out there. We'll keep an eye on the Irish 2-mile championship race. I think we can say that leading pointer for the Arkle, but let's get some social interaction up. Now's our time. And Neil Francis, welcome along back, Neil. Vauban race, a lot stronger than the Pied Piper one. No doubt in that. I mean, one was a grade 1, Neil, come on. But at the same time, I see what you're saying. That is... So again, I don't know. What was Pied Piper done in that race? He's quick, isn't he, obviously?
Well, yeah, I mean, wherever Vauban was, Pied Piper has to be close because they're closely matched on their first run, aren't they?
Well, obviously we're here in the studio, and I'm doing a lot here, but I will be looking straight for Mullins' comments after that.
Just purely on visual impressions, who impressed you more, Pied Piper or Vauban? Purely on visual impressions.
Well, Pied Piper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's the better horse of the two, I think.
They don't win races like that around Cheltenham, do they, unless they're up. And they paid a bundle
exactly.
for him.
It might well not have been a grade 1 race.
He wanted heavy ground on the flat, didn't he?
Cheltenham races are not rubbish.
Damon Moffat joins the party and says, for the first time ever, I've backed for Styrian Volange, the fruitcake at 9-2. Lots of people like that out there, Barry, aren't they? Me included.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I couldn't face into him, Dave. I just couldn't face into him. He's no sort of consistency whatsoever in terms of his jumping. And he's gone the wrong way as well. So, and listen to Willie Mullins there saying that he's genuinely concerned about the strong winds in Leopardstown for him. So, I couldn't face into him.
It's blowing a hoolie, isn't it? Yeah, he's only had 3 runs going left-handed, of course, but his one grade 1 that he got was on a left-handed track. And let's face it, the King George, he ran a big race, didn't he? So it's that sort of race. So there's holes in all of them, Damon, aren't there? One more then. Hugh Masson says, here we go. Where would Charlie tell jocks to go on this dead ground? Rail or outside? I've been surprised how many are going the inside route recently. Are you talking about Sandown, I'm assuming there, Hugh? What, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean,
I think your professional reputation is going to be potentially staked on this.
Yeah, of course. I think really you're hoping that the jockeys have done their sort of due diligence and been out and walked around the track, because it all depends where they're moving. Sometimes you get a fresher racing line, right down the inside, depending on where they've moved, especially over hurdles, where they moved the hurdles to.
Sandown, you don't often see them, the ones that hug the inside coming out on top, do you?
No, you don't. I mean, often it's a track that favours horses that fan out wider, and you would presume that is because the fresher ground is often found wider on the track,
Okay, they've just jumped the last at Leopardstown. Riviere Detail was holding sway, but she's absolutely pearled that one, and it looks like Blue Lord is going to cement himself on the run-in.
He's given her £9 as well. That's a fair run now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, St. Sam's quite interesting there.
Trying to come back.
She's coming back. She's run an absolute... No. Oh, is she going to get him?
No,
not quite on the line.
That's really interesting because Blue Lord didn't even go off favourite. River Detail went off 3.25 on the Betfair Exchange, 3.80. So 11-4 versus 9-4. But that's a really good performance, given her £9 now. She was getting all the allowances, and he was carrying a penny.
It just shows you how much they're missing Fernie Hollow, I suppose.
Don't look like an Arkle winner to me, that.
No, neither me. I don't. I think Edwardstone. I think Alan King will be delighted with what he's just seen there.
Yeah, I don't think.
Can you believe it that we're putting up Edwardstone for the Arkle on his form from last year? No, we can't. Anyway, it's grade 1 time. I'm delighted to say now at Sandown. Let's go back to the Esher track. Lots has been said about this week, Barry. A small field, just the 5 runners, but this is very, very important for the British Intermediate Novice Division. Where do we stand with the very progressive L'Homme Presse?
Yeah, very, very nice horse without a shadow of a doubt. Third favourite for the Turners at the moment, but we'll know more about that after today. 10-length winner of the Dipper. What not to like about him? This is the first time he's meeting serious opposition in the form of Pic Dory, though the Betfair Hurl winner in 2021 and Fosslas and Ascot had a fall in Newbury in between those 2 runs, but was very, very impressive in Ascot. Obviously, we've seen Paul Nichols get off the mark for the day in the second race, our first live race here on Racing Post Live. And I'm with Pic Dory here, please, G-Rod.
Yeah.
Big Pic Dory fan. And we're just going to have 50 quid win on it at currently 3.95. We're going to be a price maker here we'll go for 4.1 because the favourite's really, really strong. So we looked back at 4.1. That'll go into the pink box, and we want someone to come in and match us there. But pick Dory for me, guys.
Okay, Barry, and I guess your confidence is buoyed by the Dolos carrying Johnny De La Haye's colours to victory on our first race as well.
Yeah, very much so. It was nice to see that get off the mark. And yeah, I think that's an early sign of green shoots following the flu jabs and disappointing run of some of them last week.
Yeah, very much so. Interesting. All right. I thought Lompress would win this. I thought too much was made of his jumping when he ran at Ascot, the time before Exeter, when he beat Gunsight Ridge. Very progressive horse, as we know. Lots in hand. Gunsight Ridge had absolutely thrashed him that day. I've got no problems about him on this track. Do you, the favourite, Charlie Poste?
No, I'm with you.
This is just an odd shot that wins. What about you, G?
Yeah, no, I think this is a really, really good horse.
We need this to be a good horse,
Yes.
don't we?
We need
I
this
say
to be
us
good.
over this side of the pond, Barry. But
Yeah.
because this is the only horse at the moment, unless Pick Dory, of course, comes out and does something spellbinding, as my mic goes a little awry. Whatever wins this is the only thing that should be putting it up
This horse
to.
has got legitimate claims to being the best novice chaser in Britain, alongside Edward Stone and Brave Man's Game, of course.
Yeah.
Last time out, he won the Dipper, from which the third, Fantasticass, who was beaten an absolute mile, has come out and won since at Lingfield. The second, the Glancing Queen, has always been very highly regarded by Alan King and is quite well fancied for
We
the
covered
Mayor's
that
Chase.
on this show. Do you remember, Posty? She cruised all the way through that, and I thought she was a real threat, and he went on again.
Yeah.
It was at Cheltenham where he really came into my, okay, this is a proper animal.
From a sectionals perspective, the sectionals that this horse ran last time out at Cheltenham were very good. He finished at 107%, which you don't see many horses do at Cheltenham, especially for a horse who made the running off a good time. So I think we're dealing with a serious possible Cheltenham Festival contender, and it's going to be hugely disappointing if he doesn't win.
Likes of Sporting John, of course, who's been well mentioned on this show already, coming from out of the clouds under Ricky Johnson last year. Itchy Feet before that, two characters. Then Defi Desoy, Terra 4, Top Notch, Bristol Demai. A lot of Simon Manure horses there. Oscar Whiskey, Captain Conan. No Cheltenham Festival winners, of course, as a novice.
At the moment, this long...
Nichols has got a dreadful record in this,
Has he?
Yeah, 10 runners in the last decade, 2 places only. And I'd wager he's had some proper fancied horses in it as well. And Nicky Henderson, on the other hand, has got a very good record. Just say the handicapper, despite the fact that Lompress looks like he's probably one of the best British in the intermediate anyway, Pick Dory is a pound higher than him.
Yeah, it's usually a really bad race, apart from the year when Defi Desoy won it, and the second, and then they finished first and second at Cheltenham Festival, didn't they? I can't remember what
Defi
was
was
second.
the Cheltenham Festival.
Was it
one,
Lost in Translation was
yeah.
second?
It was a special year that for the
So
British.
that was a
wasn't
good year for the British. I think
What about
that might
Mr.
have been
Coffee?
the year. Yeah, he's good. He's a good boat, isn't he? Are we going to boat him? He's like a big gangly thing, isn't he? He's like this all over the
This has
shop.
got third run all over it, this.
What?
You need 3 runs to qualify for the festival handicaps now, don't you?
You think that Henderson might be thinking handicaps for him?
He's won 3-7. He always promised to be better
So
than
why
that.
run
over
here?
that.
Why run here then?
There was a few times over hurdles they thought he was going to really make up into something.
Betfair hurdle, everyone was screaming at the telly about the rides he was getting. If you remember at Newbury on his chasing debut, he ballooned loads of fences like it was going over the Eiffel Tower. And then he went, of course, to Kempton, and he looked like he was going to win for a long way, but got put in his place. But for me, Nichols has got a bad record in this. Henderson's won 4 of the last 7. So
This is a good way to blow the mark, isn't it?
well, it either blows the mark or it's a lovely run, isn't it? And then you find him something quiet.
He's been disappointing, hasn't he?
He has been a bit
You
disappointing.
know, he's a huge unit of a horse who everyone thought was going to be a brilliant chaser. And
Of course, they dispensed with the hood against Jacquemart, didn't they? It looked like he was going to win, and then he got outstayed. So, look, we're off and running. It's great time.
See, if
Any minute
Lompress
now.
can win this well, then he can really give Bob Ollinger a race, I think, at the festival.
All right, okay. We're coming thick and fast after this as well, because we
Jumps
go
off
to
in
Ahoy
front.
Senor after this as well, and then back up to Wetherby for the Scottish County Hurdle. All right, then, off and running. Who's going to take it out? Now, Mr. Coffee, a horse that has won a hood in the past. He is having a little bit of a say of it under Nico de Boinville at the moment. Pick Dory on the inside, which is interesting. Lompress right up there as well. Jumped straight as a die. Lompress over that one. Fugitive, a little bit keen out the back. He's got plenty to find, but obviously a nice horse. And Gladiator Alain.
Keen.
And he just, I don't know what it is about these colours, but every horse I see, these Chester Williams horses at the moment, and Jane Williams horses in these colours, they're all keen. I don't know what it is.
He's a horse of mine, Gladiator, and I think there's definitely a decent handicap in him, but he's a bit of a headbanger. Like, he's so keen sometimes they've let him stride on. I think that's what he needs to do, but obviously not today. They've anchored him.
Yeah, when he won at Exeter, of course, we thought he might have a good future, didn't we? But the hood is on. And Pictory now jumps to the front. And again, a horse that stays this distance very well, isn't it? Again, just keep your eyes on this race going forward. I think handicap winners will come out of it. But could something come for the old Marsh, now called the Turners, of course, to frighten the Irish?
This is second favourite for the Marsh, isn't it? Long press.
It looks like he'd be the
Third,
one,
isn't
you
it?
think?
He's certainly the best British Open.
Third
that race.
favourite.
Yeah,
Third
he's,
favourite.
He's
is
an
it,
8-to-1
the
chance for the Marsh.
he's
Yeah.
£6 behind Bob
Again,
Ollinger.
it
on
remains to
RPR.
be seen who goes there. We know Bob Ollinger probably definitely goes there, doesn't he? But
Gallop and Deschamps could.
we've got him tomorrow. Cannot wait for
yeah,
that.
that should
So
be good.
we're in the home straight then. And guess
Victoria's
what?
jumping great, isn't he?
Guess
Yeah,
what the
jumping
clock's
really well.
saying?
29.
It's the average pace.
Now,
isn't it?
remember-
Pretty much. They've actually just
Yeah, but
anchored it a little bit.
They are going uphill here. You know, this is an uphill run right to the top of the hill. So they will be going a little bit slower here, Dave.
Charlie Deutsch then getting a great tune at the moment. Out.
Whoa.
My
He's
Lord.
demolished it. He's demolished
My
the
Lord.
ditch.
Thank God they don't. I mean, that was the last fence next time around, isn't it?
No, because
They
Yeah,
go on the
other
inside,
side.
though, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think we won't be seeing that fence for the rest of the.
Who did that, Mr. Fisher?
Mr. Coffee.
Mr. Coffee.
Yeah,
Mr.
you're
Coffee.
tempted to say Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Fisher,
The way
yeah,
he jumped there, aren't you? But yeah, Mr. Coffee, again, if he wins after that, then.
Fence was very forgiving, was it?
It was very like he just
Right,
seemed to drop his back end.
He's a big horse, isn't he?
In all seriousness, he probably.
big unit.
Would he cut? I mean, it's birch, isn't it? So you're going to be. I don't know. I wouldn't be fancying it after that. I can tell you that much. I need a cricket box on, I think, to survive that one. All right, off we go. And it's Pictory on the far side. And he's going beautiful, isn't he, Barry? So let's come to you with the market then.
Yeah, he's enjoying it out in front. He's getting a good cider of it, all his fences. But your favourite is still 1.60. Obviously, Lahon Press had a bet for SP at 1.74. So he's still favourite and running, just as you're about to see it. lads.
It's gone.
Gladiator Allen gone.
Gladiator Allen.
Gladiator then unseats as Barry gives us the update then. So the two
Yeah,
in the
two's
market.
on now, Long
So match,
Press,
isn't
it
now?
Dory's 5-2.
I'm
Two's
surprised
on 5-2.
about that,
Looks a match
Barry.
to two in front.
I'm surprised that there's quite so much between them because, as you've
Yeah,
said,
me too.
Yeah, without wanting to jinx it, I mean, Pictory has gone beautifully through this race. Wouldn't know.
And he's a touch of class, Pink Dory.
Yeah.
He's a bet for a hurdle winner.
This is the one thing I would say about Long Press. Don't forget these exchange players tend to know what they're doing, as we saw with Paisley Park. The real proper, but
blew
the
that.
proper judges out there. Well, this is what Long Press did to Gunsight Ridge, isn't it? He eyeballed him at Exeter and saw him off on the run-in. And again, just saw a short one there. Was he clever
No,
there?
he didn't see it. Charlie Deutsch saw a long one and the horse to change his mind and was very neat and clever doing it.
Miscommunication
Yeah.
between rider and horse. We see it all the time. Now, the loose horse
Is this a really small fence or does it just look?
This is the water
Yeah,
jump.
the water jump.
Yeah, over they
a
go.
water jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots been said about water jumps, of course,
Yeah.
after poor Midnight Shadow
Get
the
rid
other
of
week,
them.
isn't there? And I wonder
There's
how
horse
long they're going to
coming
be
up,
around
Gladiator
for.
Allen's coming up alongside.
Yeah,
Long
this is
Press.
not what you want
It's
if you're
not
on the
ideal,
fav,
is
is
it?
it, at all? Would this worry you, Poste?
flew
If you're,
that.
if you're, no.
He's
Oh,
on the
he's
right.
on
He's
the
on the
nose.
right side that you're happy enough there.
I mean, don't jinx it, but Pictory's
Looking
just
good,
dropped
isn't
off
it,
him
for
a
the
little
fav?
bit now. He's
Looking
pressed
good
on a
here.
bit here, Charlie Deutsch, and Pictory didn't see a stride
This
there.
is a Cheltenham
Mr.
contender,
Coffee
this
going-
horse.
I tell you what, come on then, let's hope this horse rips now.
Here we go.
If you've
Coffee
taken the
going
odds
badly
on,
left.
you are absolutely loving it, but not totally done with Pictory, but he didn't love the railway fences
6
like
to 1
Long
on.
Press. 6-1 on, and they've still not got to the world famous
Four's
pond
on
fence,
now,
Charlie
2
Post.
to
The world famous
It's
pond
globally
fence. Yeah.
famous.
This horse usually finishes very strongly.
Just keep your eye on Fugitive out the back as well, and just nudging along.
Are you insane?
Oh, no, listen, what I'm
This is
saying is
all over, Dave.
You're implying something else, aren't you?
I am
You are.
exactly
Yeah,
implying
yeah,
that.
I know what you're
They're
getting
not
at.
really giving him
Yeah.
the hurry up, are they, Nick
You-
Schofield?
I know what you're
This
getting
has
at.
got this has got festival plate all over it. A Fugitive, I tell you.
Pictory getting back to him a bit here.
He'll leave him behind a minute. Here we go.
And again, Long Press, very, very good there.
This is
I
a
don't
good
know.
horse, this
This is a
Dave.
proper animal.
This
This,
is
I
a
think.
good horse, this.
Some people were saying this was the late of the week. Again, you've got to. Ascot is a funny course. Remember Altior? Horses just jump
Oh,
out to
yeah.
their left at Ascot.
Whoa,
And over
look
he
at
goes.
this.
Look between the legs from Charlie Deutsch. Aye, we've got a good one here. Mr. Coffee finding his second legs, not off a yard, Fugitive. I think we can say that. And they're coming to the last now. How's he going to jump it? A
Beautiful.
fine
Get on.
animal.
Watch out, Bob Ollinger.
Oh, he loves it, doesn't he? Watch out the Bobby! We finally got a British novice that might just have a say at the Cheltenham Festival. Let us know. Let's hear in the chat box, because this is the most impressive winner
yeah. Big
of this
salute
race.
from
There
Charlie
we go,
Deutsch.
a salute as well
Charlie
from
Deutsch
Charlie.
knows
I'd love
what
to
he's
see
got
that.
there. Look at that.
You love to see it, Barry Orr. One for the British.
Yeah, he looks a nice sort, all right. He's a fair tool. He's done what you'd probably expect a 5-4, 6-4 on chance to do. His only real danger dropped away after turning into the straight, and he's won impressively. He's no real blot on his copybook as of yet. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the traders do with him off the back of that. He was 8-1 chance. He was an 8-1 chance going into it for the Turners. I don't think they'll be trimming him significantly off the back of that victory, albeit how visually impressive it was. But I'll just wait for him to come through. It hasn't dropped yet.
And he's a horse that's going to relish some good ground, as we saw last season. If you go back and look at his profile quickly before we go to Wetherby, because we've got a Hoy Senior coming up. Come on, we could be on a right roll here, couldn't we? Anti-post wise, he thrashed the horse after a massive layoff. They picked him up from France on his debut at Chepstow, then they ran him under a penalty in a better race at Sandown. He just blew out. Forget that Sandown, typical Venetia aggressive placing that. Beat the handicapper. He's unbeaten, isn't he?
He just won a Grade 1 by 30 lengths distance.
Yeah. Willie Mullins picks up horses that have what I would say uninspiring form figures coming from France, and they go and win championship races. I'm excited.
That's always a dreadful race, though, to Scilly Isles, isn't it? In fairness.
Well, as we've seen from Defy Desoy, Barry, it can be done. But look, we are talking about
to go the other way,
one thing he definitely does.
11-2 from 8 for the Turners.
He jumps better than Bob Ollinger, doesn't he?
He does jump better than Bob Ollinger, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So listen, we're having a little bit of a laugh. We're trying to poke the bear a little bit. That was exciting, wasn't it? Well done if you got involved during the week. Pick Dory's run really well in second. Like I say, those two that have finished third and fourth, look out for them in handicaps at spring festivals. But we must move on. It's the Towton coming up. This is always, like I say, a pointer towards the long range spring festival Grade 1 chases. Barry Orr, does he just win?
I thought he would, Dave. Yeah, he's 1.91, so he's a little bit uneasy in the market. St. Palais is 2.82, 11.5 Ashdown Noble Late's 24. But yeah, it's a sit out for us, Dave. Here, I just think I thought Hoy Senior could win. Thought he'd probably go to the what was the RSA? What is it now? The Festival Novice Chaser. Or is the Gold Cup dream still alive for these? Who knows? But I'd like to see an impressive victory from him here.
The Coney Gree route, it could be still alive, couldn't it? This track's ideal for him, Posty, isn't it?
Yeah, made for him, I think. Look, I mean, I'm hoping we're going to see a sort of a Newbury-esque performance from him, and get right back on track. I mean, but though I do think St. Palais is no mug,
What's Noble Yates doing here? I mean, he's a massive price, isn't he? I know he pulled up 6 days ago, but on form, a marker 148, getting £5 from a 152 shot. Why is he so big? I just don't really get it.
Surely if he was fancied, he wouldn't be that big.
Ashtown Lad's not a bad horse. No, of course he would. Of course he wouldn't be that big. But what I'm saying is, this is a strange market to my eye. I guess the Richard Bandy trained winning machine St. Palais is going to be very interesting from a handicapping perspective. Win, lose, or draw G.
Yeah. This is surely a race that Ahoy Senior wins, and he bolsters the form of Brave Man's Game, who of course is one of the big British hopes at the festival. I don't think that they went fast enough at Kempton. I think that they should have gone harder and really tested Brave Man's Game's stamina. I think Brave Man's Game just did him for pace in the straight. They finished at 108% Brave Man's Game and 105%. Now, if Hoy Senior is such a strong stayer around a sharp track like that, he wants to be finishing more like 100. I don't think they went fast enough. I think that he'll go faster here and they won't catch him.
All eyes will be on his jumping here because he wasn't great at Newbury early on when he served out that demolition job. And Mr. Invincible, or whatever, he beat of Henry de Bromhead's there.
He's an interesting horse because, like Posty touched on it earlier, like all of his best form is left-handed, but he jumps a little bit away to his right.
He does, yeah. But
all right, okay. Look, let's look for negatives. Ground. They've been running away. They took him to Wetherby at the start of the season. And it was pretty much the ground they've got here. The sun was started shining, and Lucinda and Pete Scudamore, they got a little bit nervy, didn't they?
I'm just not convinced like good ground at this time of year is anything
What was it at Kimble when he went? It was November, of course, wasn't it? Very strange
tacky
to see
ground,
Kimble.
like
Kimble would never have raced before in November, would it?
No.
At a point-to-point. It's once a year only.
I mean,
16th
at
of
the
April
weight,
this year.
St. Palais is weighted to finish very close to him.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right, I've got quotes coming in about Goshen that I'll try and get you when we're a little bit less busy, let's put it that way. But as expected, Ahoy Senior, whoa, all the way out to his right there, wasn't he? That's an interesting jump there from him. St. Palais, very impressive at Newbury last time. Great to see Richard Bandy getting horses like this from Tim Sider, those famous colours there of Killer Clown and the rest of them. He's just going to observe from Weir and see what the Fav does. Now, unsurprisingly, Harry Skelton's having a little think about getting close to Ahoy Senior and Ashdown here, isn't he? And Noble Yates, talented on his day, needs to bounce back, taking a keen hold in the middle. Posty, come to you.
Well, I mean, from a point of view of the jockeys following, you're going to have to be slightly aware of the fact that Ahoy Senor did go significantly right there at the first fence. I mean, look, as in he's getting it all his own way. I think, as G-Rod's alluded to, you're hoping that Derek Fox is going to set quite a stern test and really sort of utilise, I think, what this horse is all about, which is staying and jumping and galloping, really. And as in, he definitely does not want to test the speed.
But yet Harry goes up on his outside here, doesn't he? And again, Ahoy Senor. Is he just a bit leery, Ahoy Senor?
You might be doing him a favour here, might you not?
Yeah, I think having someone on your outside, if you're Derek Fox, you're delighted if it's going to minimise him going right and give him a bit of comfort to make him concentrate.
And he winged
Yeah, he did. That's the best jump so far, isn't it?
I mean, that was Gold Cup class, that jump, wasn't it? I mean, you can see, look, now he's pressing on a little bit, Derek Fox. He's saying, come on, let's have a school round.
He went right, I think.
He went right.
This is a horse that's been entered in the Gold Cup as a novice, the Cody Gree, all the comparisons are there, and he's against handicappers in behind, so...
I absolutely think they're definitely right to run in the Gold Cup. That performance at Newbury would have put him bang there in the Hennessy.
Do you think they might...
Ladbrokes Trophy.
Do you think they might be tempted to wait for Aintree, considering that was where he came to the fore last season?
Oh, I don't think they should. I think they
well,
should.
I'm not suggesting they. I think that wasn't the question, was it? I said, do you think they might be tempted?
What would they run in at Aintree? The novice race or the Aintree Bowl?
That's a good question. You wouldn't mind seeing him in the bowl, would you? But we know he loves a flat track. This was your thing, wasn't it? How's he going to react to the uphill and the downhill?
Exactly. I mean, which we still don't know.
We still don't know.
All right. Well, we're not exactly sure. I'm just going to check out where he made his point-to-point debut.
He does stay very well, though,
was it?
Doesn't he?
Let's have a look. He unseated at, where was he? Did Martin. Tell me about Did Martin.
Undulating track.
Yeah, it's all coming to the fore, isn't it? And here we find him. Look, what we're saying is Ahoy Senor has been campaigned on flat tracks exclusively thus far. Very well, but we're not sure about when he might see a down and uphill. All right, we're going the home straight then. The famous fourth last.
Yeah, it's caused
next
us
time around.
some
This
drama
can catch.
this year,
This can catch him out. What are fences like at Wetherby? I've asked jockeys this before.
I mean, nice fences, but like they're decent fences. I mean, for me, it was an even better track when the fences used to be up the outside turn in. You had the big open ditch as the first one in the straight.
He's gone out to his right again a little bit.
He is shifting right. I mean, there's no doubt. But as G said, a lot of his best form is left-handed. So.
He's a beast to look at, G, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think he's a beast of a horse. I just think he ran into a beast of a horse last time in Brave Man's Game.
Well, a lot of will be mentioned about the form after that, Barry. We'll come to you about Long Press's price for the Turners as well. But what's the market making of Ahoy Senor now, then?
Ahoy Senor 154, so 2-1 on day, 4.4. St. Ashton 9.8. But yeah, your favourite seems to be just jumping out a little bit was right. Not overly concerning, but obviously nothing's really taken him on up front just yet.
I don't know, is that slightly... I mean, St. Palais is a horse we know can come through horses and he's quite a gruelling test.
Yeah.
Well, that's slightly big at the moment, I think.
I'd have said so. I mean, because he's actually just got a fairly... His way of going just doesn't really catch your eye, does it? He just kind of gets on with it,
Don't mind that at all.
He just quietly goes about his business and he's quite...
He's only 5, isn't he?
Pardon?
He's a 5-year-old.
Yeah. And he's economical to jump and he just seems to have a very nice way of racing, doesn't he?
I wonder if he's
Gee, would you like to see them set Ahoy Senor
I'd probably like to see him go now because you don't want to get caught up in a sprint, does he?
It's a long way out at Wetherby, this, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's going to stay every yard, though.
First on the far side. Wetherby's home straight teams, the fences there seem to catch out tired horses more than a lot of other places.
Yeah, it's a grueling old place, and then you're sort of climbing all the way up from the bend to the line, and it definitely does catch him out. Do you think the horse jumps better though when they're more aggressive with him?
Yes.
Like, when they actually set him about his work, he seems to really concentrate far more than when they're sort of taking him back and letting him sort of go steady away.
Yeah, I think so. Remind me, did he lead Brave Man's Game? He did, didn't he? For a lot of the.
Yeah, he did turn into the straight. Yeah,
that's right. He did. That's right. Okay, of course. And Harry was just, oi, what have I got underneath me here? So look, Team Nichols will be watching this intently. But just looking now at St. Palais, just asking him to wake up a bit, Posty.
Yeah, he's creeping back onto the heels of them, isn't he? I mean, I'd have thought at the moment Harry Bannister, as he just sort of, like you say, squeezes the horse up to try and get up the inside of Harry Skelton and even follow Ahoy Senor now as they go around the long sweeping bend into the home straight, 4 fences to go. I mean, as it stands right now, you just said the race has panned out very nicely for Ahoy Senor. And if Harry Skelton just gives him a bit of company now, you'd like to see Derek Fox really try and set the horse alight off the bend.
And it'll be interesting to see the beaten horses. It's this time of year, isn't it, where we watch these graded third or fourth places. They're the ones that the handicappers look out for.
You'd like to see him wing this, G.
Now they're turning it up then. You can see on the clock,
it's
it's finally got above 30. It's gone to 34 miles an hour. How's it going to take the fourth last? Can catch him out of that. Sam Palais, the handicapper gets caught out.
The injection of pace put the other one under pressure.
A little bit of a feed door there, wasn't it? Ashdown Lad still going all right, but this looks like a classy operator.
Looking real good.
I win the Gold Cup looking at this.
Oh, hang on a minute. Tony Ennis has joined us again, has he? I'll tell you what, he's absolutely trapping, isn't he, going to that?
Overjumped.
He's got loads left. Look at him. He's hard on the steel.
This is a classy animal.
This is another big British hope.
Look at this. Goodness gracious me.
He's
flown that as well.
G's pulled his goggles down.
I'll tell you what, Noble Yates has caught my eye throughout this race as well. We'll talk about that after this race. But this is the Ahoy Senor that we were all expecting. The ship has come sailing in. Brave Man's game form to the fore. Another one we can start to get excited about. Does he go to Brown Advisory? Does he skip it or at all? Or will they see the big prize, Barry Orr, and go for the Gold Cup?
They have to go for the Gold Cup after that. He's beaten 4 other horses in a grade 2 novice chase. So, yeah, definitely Gold Cup without a shadow of a doubt. Great British hope.
Listen, Coney Gree pulled it off. Okay, that was great, wasn't it? Barry, we'll come back to you for any anti-post prices reaction, of course. We'll see if Brave Man's game hardens off that as well. G, he looked really good there, didn't he, when he lit him up?
Yeah, he's got loads left, hasn't he? He's come home hard on the bridle. He flew every fence despite going right-handed. And he's definitely going to be a Grade 1 horse at the Cheltenham Festival, whether they go for the Gold Cup or the old RSA, the whatever it's called now, Brown Advisory.
More for the British pointing there as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, he should be going for the Brown Advisory. I think it's the festival race is the one.
I'm not sure. Can he beat Brave Man's game in the Brown Advisory? Brave Man's game's already absolutely hacked all over him.
I think he can turn that form around.
Do we think the Brave Man's game is a flat track horse as well?
I just think
might be.
I think Ahoy Senor is a proper slogger, and that the Brown Advisory is a race for that sort of horse. Personally, I think it's. What do you think, Barry? I think it's a grueling race, and I'd have thought. It's probably the most likely chance of that horse to win a Grade 1, Ahoy Senor.
I thought 9-2 from 80 is for the Brown Advisory. I think we might see Brave Man's game. I have a little inclination we might see him next weekend, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
In Newbury.
At the, in the Denman.
What, in the Denman? That would be good, wouldn't it?
No.
What, hey?
Where then?
Watch this space, lads. Watch this
space. We'll all be watching Natters with Nichols, won't we, on Monday morning? He's a pro, this Barry.
Ahoy Senor, 20 from 25 for the Gold Cup.
Is Ahoy Senor,
got us going, isn't it?
Is Ahoy Senor now Britain's big Gold Cup hope?
It looks that way, doesn't it?
You're in trouble if it is.
Yeah, we are in big trouble.
I don't know about that. Don't forget, there's a very famous match bet that spiked our social team's interest. You saw that throughout the week. There is a match bet going, if you're not sure what it is. It's the championship races. They've had an even winner for charity, Ireland and Britain.
Who have?
4 championship races. Me and G-Rod. He says England will win more of the 4 championship races than Ireland.
I watch back these clips, that they put out during the week, and that's one of my favourite ever, that one, because Barry just goes, I beg your pardon. Did you just say? And it's on, all right, for the IJF as well, so we'll see what happens there. We've got to move on to Musselburgh. It's thick and fast, as we know. It's Scottish County Hurdle. Barry, you like one here?
Oh, Jamie. We really are ticking fast. I'm trying to get out anti-post quotes here. Musselburgh.
Glory and honour.
Yeah, I like glory and honour here big time.
Yeah, all right.
I thought his 5th at Cormier this day last week, actually, after a 73-day break. He was with them jumping the last as well. He was banging contention. I think he just got tired after jumping the last. He was dropped 3 pounds for that run, would you believe? God bless the English handicapper. He's so aggressive with those English horses now. Always improves for a run after a break as well. And I thought he was a bit of value in here, G-Rod, please. So we're going to look to back him in the win and place market at the moment. He's currently trading at 3.7. No, we'll just back him in the win. We'll have 50 quid in the win, 3.70. He's 365 now. We're going to be a price maker. It'll go over into the pink side. We look for someone to come in and lay a stat bet. So 3.7, glory and honour, 50 quid win.
Tom Lacey's having a bit of a resurgent time after going a bit quiet with his horses. But 7, if he comes on for that run, Lively Sitters, and who pulled up in that race, of course, already come out and won in the week at Leicester. They can do it, these horses, but backing under 3-1 Glory and not for me. I thought I might have stumbled on a bit of a plot with 5 and 20 as they get ready to jump
Socialist agenda for me, shrewd operation.
Again, getting it right, this horse, isn't he? He's got a nice chassis. G, which one did you like?
I left this race. This was
Okay,
no
just,
bad.
just as well because they're off.
Diocletian, I don't think's jumped off.
He was fancied as well, wasn't he, a little bit, for Nick Alexander. Ex-flat horse, of course, for Andrew Balding. But as she likes to do, we've seen her do it on this show before. Was it New Year's Day last year? 5 and 20, slammed them in the Scottish sort of triumph race, didn't they? In fact, it might have been that, mightn't it? Anyway, she has come down the handicap slightly. Third time lucky, I'm hoping. She's being taken on, though, by Barry's pick, Glory and Honour up front as well. You'll be happy to see that then, Poste, with Socialist Agenda, who can take time to settle. He's just getting it right, this horse, isn't he?
He's got a really good picture. Adam Wedge just following 5 and 20 through. Yeah, very happy about that. And like you say, as Glory and Honour takes them alongside 5 and 20.
There's some characters near G, aren't there? If Anna Bonina comes and puts egg on my face, I thought she might run well last week. But
I was half tempted to put her up. But
they overwatered it, Donny, didn't they, basically?
Well, that's what they said, wasn't it?
Oh my Lord. Glory and Honour took a perler. Thankfully, straight up to his feet, but the fan is out. It's one of those days, Baz, so far, isn't it? My Lord. Okay, Hardy Price is up there for Team Emma Lavelle. Ben Jones, very good young rider. Pearl of the West, the other John McConnell horse, out observing from rear as well. All right, G. Is she doing a bit too much too soon? Wild Max in the 4 as well.
We've got 28 round the bend, 30. So they're about the right pace, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah,
happy with that.
I love to see Brian Hughes up front though, because it means he's stacking them.
Yeah, he's a waiter.
A better jumps rider.
He's a waiter, isn't he? I tell you, no, the best jockey of doing that from the front is Dennis O'Regan. He's absolutely brilliant on front runners because he waits and waits and waits forever.
It's the Hughes Spencer thing on the flat, isn't it?
Spencer's great, isn't he? Front running jockey.
Brilliant.
Well,
deadly.
When he actually wants the front run, he's great.
Yeah, because Richard Hughes used to be the same.
Yeah, as he once famously
Same as
said,
Frankie as well, isn't it?
If you don't like the way I ride, don't back me and don't book me.
Oh my goodness, I saw quotes for the Lincoln coming in this week, would you believe it? It's always the way, isn't it?
We don't go on that long losing run that I went on last year between Cheltenham and the Lincoln.
Every chance of that, I would imagine, playing out. He's had his 4-timer, hasn't he? All right then, we're on the far side, which means we're not too far away from the business end of the Scottish County Hurdle. We'll be back at Musselburgh tomorrow, of course. We've got the Edinburgh National still to come here. Great to be alive, isn't it, in racing? We've got a Potemps qualifier coming up at Leopardstown as well. Perhaps one that Willie won't win. We'll see about that. But the first 3 races have gone.
Is this going to be another Nichols winner?
Well, Max travelling well, isn't it?
He's a decent horse, this. He has had a few problems, hasn't he? And Nichols did say in the week that he thinks he's got him there or thereabouts. They were going to go chasing with him, but they...
Highly prized just coming off the bridle.
I'd be happy with yours, but at the same time, the 3 up front look like the ones to catch. Highly prized. Anna Bonina can do it. But at the moment, 5 and 20, they've got the feeling this might be her FA Cup final. 3 out then. Wild Max is going to come and have a say. He's sitting very quietly, Adam Wedge, as usual, on Socialist Agenda as well. Posty.
Yeah, I mean, 5 and 20 is the one they've all got to get by at the moment. Socialist Agenda looks the main danger, I would say. The one. Adam Wedge looks really confident, which is making me feel pretty good right
Come on, you can get a winner, Posty. Posty loves nothing better than cheering one home. Let me tell you. I'll tell you, 5 and 20's done. I'll tell you what, Laura Morgan, she does hit form, doesn't she? And at Musselburgh as well. This is a horse that they thought could be running in some decent flat races. He's got the last to go.
Go on, Wedgie.
Just a run in now. I'll tell you what, Anna Bonina is coming after you. In fact, we've got one more to go, haven't we?
No.
Are we all right? Okay, we're all right. Come on, Posty. The postman delivers. Happy days. And this is well picked out. 5 and 20 coming back a little bit. Looks like she wants a bit further now. Anna Bonina running on into 3rd. Tough campaign for her. Wild Max, the problems persist. All right, Barry Orr, when did they know?
I tell you, Dave, Socialist Agenda, Betfair SP of 5.6. Once he went by 5 and 20, it was all over. 5 and 20 trade at a low of 1.95, so just even money. Nothing else really traded shorter edge side of that. Interesting, you flag Anna Bonina there. Ground probably gone for her. She's rated 133. She'll probably get dropped another couple of pounds for that. Wonder would it be a nice handicap with her in Cheltenham, but it'll be interesting to just keep a watch and brief with her for now.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's all about the ground for her, isn't it? We saw Noble Yates run really well at Wetherby. They're absolutely slamming another one of Emmett's in the Potemps that's just jumping off now at Leopardstown. We'll keep an eye on that. Dunboyne, well fancied for Gordon Elliott as well. We've got the 255 coming up at Sandown. 18 runners were due to go to Poste. We'll get that up very shortly. You can see the exchange there. All right, great to have Musselburgh. One more to come, I think, from Musselburgh at least, haven't we? The Edinburgh National, that'll be our final race of the day. Loads of... All right, that was thick and fast, G, wasn't it? Now that you've had a little bit of time to think about it, Long Press, 11-2, we can see on the sportsbook now for the Turners.
Yeah, why is he 11-2? Why is he that big?
Well, I'll back that one back to you, Barry. He seems to think that's a massive price.
Yeah, well, he's in against some decent horses, isn't he? It's not a 5-runner grade 2 that he's running in when he goes to Cheltenham. I mean, he's in against the likes of Bob Ollinger, who I know you're a big fan of, G-Rod, aren't you?
Well, you are a big fan of the Ollinger, aren't you?
Galloping Deschamps.
That's the one, isn't it?
Who runs this weekend as well. He's actually 92 now from 11-2, would you believe that?
Wow, yeah,
That's
okay.
his G's just got on.
He was a bit quiet through that race, wasn't he? Go on, Barry.
We're talking about a Hoy Senior, aren't we?
We're now moving on to a Hoy Senior. What price then for the Brown Advisory now?
That's what I'm saying. He's 9-2.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant Long Press.
Long Press is 8-1 for the Browns Advisory, so he'll probably go on the Thursday for what was the Marsh. So what's that called now?
Yeah, the Turners.
Yeah, Turners.
The Turners, yeah. He's 11-2 chance for the Turners. So he's Bob Ollinger 11-8, Galloping Deschamps 9-4, and it's 11-2. He's the only. There's only 3 of them in single figures in that race already. Would you believe?
Okay, so again, we're getting near to the end of proper preps now, aren't we? So
yes,
yeah, we are. So
I'd be fascinated to see what sort of mark they put on Press there. Whether they think that he's improved on his Cheltenham victory or he's just run to the same level. To me, he looked very, very good, but yeah, it's easy to argue it was a poor race.
All right, okay, well, yes, all right. So.
But you can only beat what you put in front of them.
Very
yeah, without doubt.
And he
There's
jumps
no doubt
well,
about that.
and he finishes
Let's have a quick
well.
word about Blue Lord as well. What's happened to the Arkle market, Barry? Has Edwardstone hardened up on the back of that, or was Blue Lord tightened?
No, so that went to the Stewards' room. That Blue Lord race. He was only 1-5 to keep it. Would you believe? But he was unchanged at 11-4 for the Arkle off the back of that. Now he's given her £9. Obviously, she made just that mistake at the last, and the stewards had a look at that he crossed her. But 11-4 Blue Lord, Edwardstone's 3, River de Tay is 4. Now, I don't think, Charlie, I think I'm right in saying she won't be getting, she'll get the sex allowance, and that's about it.
That's about it.
She'll be £4 worse off, Barry, at Cheltenham,
She
would have
beaten him, wouldn't she?
She had to jump the last.
She'd have won.
She'd have
won.
She's only been in the neck at the finish.
Third time lucky, lads.
He's got a bit of a third time lucky.
You like third time lucky?
Yeah.
I honestly think on good ground, he'll beat Edwardstown.
He looked the business again the other day, albeit in a race he had.
He's got to be fresh. The only concern is that they're talking about maybe going for the Kingmaker with him as well now, and I'd rather be.
That's Edwardstone's race. They're not going to want to take each other on there, are they?
That's what they're talking about. I was with them on Thursday night.
Well, they just love Warwick, don't they, the Skeletons?
And they're red. I think look, he would only. I think third time lucky, he'd only go there if the ground was properly good ground. I think they're saying good ground is very important to him, but I think being fresh is
a bit exciting, isn't it, out there for the big festival?
There's a lot of skeleton horses like that, and they seem to be best fresh. You know,
Protectorat looks like he's going straight there. I'll see some on the chat today. Protectorat being the best, of course, of the British in the Gold Cup.
Nubin Negra too.
Kills put him up for the Gold Cup this week in the weekend, didn't he?
Did he? He's got a huge chance in the Gold Cup, those. Huge chance.
I mean, after we covered that Aintree run, I said, whoa, hang on a minute, that is a proper Gold Cup horse.
Yeah, that's a Gold Cup horse, that is.
I just wonder whether he's very good enough. Of course, don't forget, 3:15, we have the Irish Gold Cup coming up. Will Kenboy repeat last year's success? Will it go to Frodon? Will it go to the lunatic Asterion Falange? I've got a lip tick, believe it or not.
Why is he so popular today?
Rindo, the Gold Cup winner in there?
Now, just quickly, why? Last time in the King George, I thought absolutely everything was for him. He was going right-handed, and everything looked perfect. And I tipped him, and loads of people said, "What are you going on about? He's absolutely no case." Patrick Mullins says that he gets to the 4 out most times and looks like he's going to win, doesn't always. Patrick Mullins don't rate him. Basically, was what Kills was saying to me. And then he obviously ran an absolute stormer and probably would have won if they hadn't gone a nuts pace in front, because he ended up getting in a mess, didn't he? Along with all the Manila Indo and Bryony going nuts on Frodon and all the others. So why today does everyone now love him? Because to me today he looks like it's the race that he won't win. He's going left-handed. It's more of a stiffer test of stamina. I'm not sure he's the strongest stayers. And he's already shown that in a top race, he struggles to stay on his feet.
I'm glad that you're so switched on. I mean, you're previewing the 3:15, and we've got the 2:55 coming up. But you have given us your preview.
But the 3:15...
You would be laying a steering for launch today, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I
love... clock off early.
I absolutely love a
If he
steering
doesn't back a
for
winner,
lunge.
we can let him.
I love a steering for lunge because he's an absolute nutcase. He's talented nutcase, but this isn't his race, surely.
All right. Okay,
but yeah, everyone has tipped him. Like, if you look in our Saturday jury today, everyone went for a steering for lunge. You're going for a steering
Did you
for
hear what
lunge.
Gav Lynch said yesterday when we talked to him? He's got form figures of FU. And if you back the horse, you've said that a few times, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, let's get a social up. Mally Draycott says, good one, Mally. Still think Brave Man's game is a bit overhyped. You're trying to wind up the bear. He's poking the bear there, that is for sure. Not so sure about that, Mally. I think the form's just been frank there, isn't it? What do you reckon out there? Keep them coming in, but we've got to now look at this. And look, there's 1,000 runners in this. Are 18 still going to Poste? Barry Orr.
Sorry, Dave. Rioja, your favourite. Sorry?
Is it a full field? We're not got any nons here.
No, it's a full field, yeah. Full complement of 18 going to Poste, yeah.
Wow.
Brimming Water's out. Sorry, excuse me. Brimming Water and non-runner.
Yeah. Oh, right, there we go.
Brimming Water.
There had to be one, didn't there?
Yeah.
But look, it looks like you could have 5 goes in this Barry and still not get anywhere near it. Where is the Orr money landed on?
Yeah, I was fancying the favourite, Dave, Rioja, with the fabulous Sean Bone on board. Was seconded Gina Bello in Aintree. Obviously, Gina Bellows chased home what was looked the best of the stay in Irish novices, and Blazing Cal chased that home twice in Cheltenham. The third, Dr. Ken, has won since. Then won a novice in Chepstow, which has worked out okay. And then carried a penalty in Kempton last day over 3 miles, was odds on, but absolutely danced in. Now, obviously, doesn't have the experience for these big race handicaps, but if Sean Bone can just get him into a nice rhythm, I think he's going to take a lot of beating in this race. A mark of 130 could prove really, really lenient for him. So we're just going to have 50 quid or 25 quid win on him at 5.7, please, G-Rod.
Sorry, caught me out there. Which one was it? Rioja. We're getting so many races today. Right, Rioja, 5.7.
You're doing a sterling job,
price taker here. Yeah, he has been bigger. He's been around the 7-1 mark on the exchange, but he's been really well found by the market. But like I said, I think 130 could prove a very, very workable mark for him. If he settles in a race like this where there's the hustle and bustle, he'll never have experienced that.
For Harry Fry, of course, who produced Metier to win the Winter Millions on the Friday, didn't he? Or get the right mark. If there's a horse that's going to be above its mark here, it probably is him. 2 6-year-olds who won the race in the last 3 years, one of them being top of the game. That's the sort of calibre of animal we're talking about. It's really fascinating horses here. Look at Easy's Lamb making his debut for John Joe O'Neill. Grand National in mind for him. Of course, could he be going back cross country? Keep your eyes on that one. Call Me Lord at the top. He's got some great Sandown form. Dolphin Square. What a friend of his. What a friend of ours he is. If the cap fits, Orby's Legend. Don Levant. Where are we going? I like Beauport. Posty.
Yep, we're on the same page. Beauport
Full
for me.
seldom differ.
Step up in trip is tailor made for him.
Yeah. And he likes the track, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. G.
I'm with Don Levant. I thought he ran
Lots
an
of money for that chap.
Cracker, yeah, last time out at Kempton. Over 2.5 around the sharp track. I don't think 2.5 around the sharp track really suits him, and he really finished well in that race.
Call Me Lord was ahead of him, but you think this will be more up his street?
He's got a stiffer test of stamina here, much stiffer finish here, uphill all the way, and his extra couple of furlongs really suit him. Of course, his best performance this season came over 3 miles at Haydock.
Yes, they ride this guy cold, don't they? And they did. He did say Evan Williams off this. But congratulations to Evan Williams. He hit landmark in the week as well. And
great season he's had, Evan.
He's had a winner now at every single jump track.
Lots of time for Evan because he's a straight talker. He doesn't mess about, does he?
Okay, all right, yeah, fair play.
I was talking yesterday about Luke Harvey getting in touch yesterday, and apparently
that was a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, apparently he rode the first ever price-wise winner in this race in 1987, 35 years ago, to Burner Lord. Mark Coton, the first price-wise.
Did it turn out to be right?
It was right, yeah.
So Luke Harvey has phoned you up first thing on a Friday morning, knowing the answer, and just wanted you to...
He wanted me to confirm...
Publicise that.
Of all the people to ring.
That he had ridden the first ever price-wise winner, and it was in this very race 35 years ago to Burner Lord.
Thank you very much, G. All right, okay, Ledlock Luke. We'll be watching this keenly then. It's a remarkable stat, really. Okay, Rioja then at hard at the budding. What about Green Book here? Before the unseat, he looked like he was just the one that was just going to go win, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the Venetia horse who I tipped a horse, didn't I? Was it last week? I can't remember now. There's so many races there, aren't there? He's the horse that I tipped, the horse that beat him, didn't
Got
I?
no further than the second.
A
behind
different
Cobblers Green.
kind, that's it. Yeah, a different kind, of course, was the
Could
horse.
still be well
that I
handicapped
tipped
to give the
last week.
Venetia stable a big double.
Charlie Deutsch returning is no bad thing, is it?
Oh yeah, he was favourite for that race, wasn't
Born
he?
Patriot just
At
looks like
Kempton.
he's warming up for a biggie, doesn't he, as well, for the Fahey team. Kevin Brogan taking the ride, the Irish rated there. Orby's Legend, bigger than I thought. What about Dolphin Square? Do we give Maxi a chance again, Barry? Your best pal.
Yeah, he's gone up a stone this season now, Dave. I think he got £4 or £5 for his win last day, and that could just catch up with him. But he's a horse close to my heart after New Year's Day, I have to say.
Oh, it's going to make the highlights reel of 2022. That was an absolute beauty, that wasn't it? Sir Barry, all they were saying. All right, we're off and running, and Jezel Teak for Team Dr. Newland. I'll tell you what, blimey, Killian Leonard, hang on a minute.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa, says Charlie
What
Post.
about the
We're
speed
going
gun,
Kingsstand pace.
Yeah, this will suit me, won't it? Because I'm sat right in last.
You're
one
actually
down the front.
last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isabel Williams
Isabel
knows what
Williams,
she's
good
doing.
at this sort of ride, though, isn't she?
All right,
Isabel?
Flem Carr, another strong stayer. He's giving the closest attention to this tearaway lead at the moment. So's Orby's Legend. The Cobb bidding to bounce back up there for Ben Pauling. What have we got there as well? Born Patriot having a little bit of a say. Call Me Lord in midfield. Where's Beauport?
We've got a good sit.
good
We're
jump
sort-
there.
we're bang
right
in the
in
middle.
midfield. Paddle your own canoe at the back. Keep your eyes on Easy's Land. He's going to be taken off his feet, isn't he? That's for sure. I know it's 2 miles 7, but it's hurdles. He's already given him a little bit of a slap down the neck. Very interesting player. What for the season ahead for him? Look
All
at the Dolphin
favourite just
Square.
pecked quite badly there, lads. Mid-division, Rioja there, pecked badly on
Well,
landing.
experience is your worry, isn't it, in a race like this with a thrice raced 6-year-old?
Massively, yeah. I mean, like, there's no doubt he is the potential massive improver in this race, but yeah, he's got to handle these sort of race conditions.
He's
which are
going to
vastly
learn
different.
a lot either way here, isn't he? Because he's got him right up the inside. Team Twister's having a lovely time again, aren't they? And Beauport has caught my eye. The way he's jumping for Jordan Naylor, claiming 3. Gallo Jajuli, one of the outsiders out the back as well. What's that in the white hat, of course? Oh, yeah, of course. First time blinkers, Ben Bromley. He's a lot being said about Ben Bromley at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he rides nicely enough. I mean, he's sort of heavily connected at the moment to the Paul Nichols team, isn't it? So
Yeah, Harry Fry obviously would know a lot about him as well. Is he a young guy coming through the points then as well?
he has, yeah. I mean, he's had a lot of rides pointing for his dad and Phil Rowley, and obviously the Munir Suede team that his father is racing manager. Bloodstock agent for.
He came. Oh yes, of course. It's Anthony's son.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Anthony, of course, over at Leopardstown today to watch Blue Lord. Watch out for him coming over in the studio very soon as well. All right. Okay. What have we got then? Barry, let's come to you. The Cobb has taken over.
Yeah, Jezutik is 13. He had a bet for SP of 12.5. The Cobb, 34. He had a bet for SP of 54. Just trying to track the favourite there. He's jumping well and travelling well in mid-division. He went out to a high of 7, Rioja, but he's into 6.6 now. Beauport, 5.8. And Green Book is currently trading as favourite in, running at 5.2.
What about Rioja? Are you happy with him at the moment?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm really happy with him. He's travelling well and he's jumping well. Yeah, so he's well placed. He's mid-div. Everything's going okay for him at the moment.
This will be the easiest headline if he wins, Rioja. Rioja pulls it on.
Oh, big toast.
Lovely.
Right, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So will he pour it on? We will find out. Easy's Land, just keep watching him. It was just fascinating to see him now with John Joe, isn't it, of course? And what it cost Crunchy? We've got, of course, so much to come our way. I'm thinking about Tiger Roll as well. Nationals, will they let him go back for that? We've finally seen our first of the year. The O'Leary's versus the Handicap the other day came back up as well,
Yeah,
didn't
it's so
it?
dull, isn't it?
It is a bit
It's so
dull, isn't it?
boring. Oh.
And fair play to the Handicapper saying they're entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled not to listen. All right, Flemcar slightly going back through the pack now. This has been a proper test, this Post, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's been a relentless gallop, as set by Killian Leonard initially, and then the Cobb has taken over and sort of, well, they are racing downhill, as G would say now, but the speedometer has been above 30 almost pretty much throughout for this 3-mile test. It means
Not
they're
something
gonna
you
have to-
always say. Not something you always say, even in a 2-mile race.
No,
So,
exactly, yeah. And so I think
Are we
staying is gonna be
expecting
the
then the
premium.
closest to come to the fore, if you had to guess now?
If you're going to have to guess right now, you're going to say, yeah, 100%, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on the winner here. It's going like the winner.
I mean, you've got about 30
That
lengths to
famous
make
time
up.
when TC said he would have
Flemcar
won.
is the one that's beaten.
Yes.
I think we could
Yeah.
say that.
At Aintree.
We've
Mine's
got some
gonna win.
strong stayers in behind. Is that David Maxwell has made his way up into second?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's
No.
not.
Maxi's right out the back. That's Venetia's horse, Charlie.
Oh, it
Charlie
is Green Book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, a horse that's got, can run at Royal Ascot on the flat, stays really, really well. Has he done a little bit too much too soon? Will they steal a march? It'll be interesting. We saw that with the
I'm on the
Goshen
winner
race.
here, Dave.
On a gathering storm for the O'Briens. He's having a bit of, Born Patriot cruising through the race. You still think you're on the winner?
I'm on the winner. Mine's going to win it.
What price is Don Levant then on the machine at the moment, Barry?
9.6 on Betfair Exchange.
All right, expect that to crash then, says G. All right, okay, what are we? 3 out here then. Starting to get really busy now. Oh, you've stepped over that one as well.
Yeah, that don't help, does it? But
Look at
still,
Garrows'
it's
Julie.
all right, Dave. We're still hard on the steel.
Oh, I don't know about that,
Oh,
G.
we're hard on the steel here.
Well, I think she might be holding on to a bag of air there.
No.
I'm not sure. Beauport, this is the one, isn't it?
Oh, we're happy.
Lots
at the
of
moment.
chances turning in, and the crowd will be going potty at Sandown for this one. We've got the Masters handicap to come over this as well. The Chasers, 5-star Getaway, and the likes, Lindley King, they're all there. Look at Beauport now,
Don't get
Jordan
there too
Naylor
soon,
making his
Jordan.
move. I'll tell you what, Call Me Lord as well. He's not done with, but he's got lots of horses in front of him, as has Rioja and Don Levant.
Don Levant's still cruising, Dave. She's still holding on
This
to
is
the double
Beauport's,
handful.
isn't it? Don't go too soon, Jordan. That's
Yeah.
all I will say. Charlie Deutsch sensing a big race double as well on Green Book. Rioja just caught a little bit out of his ground. Surely Call Me Lord and Don Levant have got too much to do here, haven't they?
I hope not, Dave.
This is Green Book at the moment, bidding to bounce back. What would he have done on Lanzarote had he stayed there? Call Me a Lord, trying to get up. I'll tell you what, Rioja's run really well, actually, for an inexperienced horse coming out by back. But
Whoa,
Beaufort,
bad mistake by Beaufort.
looked like he was
Oh,
about
bad
to
mistake
take
by
it up.
Don
This is
Levant.
Green Book going away. Loads of people will be on this. The two of them, the young horses, they're going clear at the moment, looking for the closers. It's
she's
not
overdone
happening,
it.
is it?
She's
Don
overdone
Levant,
the
if there
waiting.
is one. Come on, Jordan. I'll tell you what, come on, Jordan, now because of
Good job
Beaufort.
for winning.
Oh, he's walked
no.
through that one as well. This is going to be a slow motion finish.
Go on,
Whatever
Jordan.
happens. Don Levant's going to get third, G. I hope you're on each way. But Green Book pulling out a little bit more. Should this have been unbeaten this season? Beauport's doing his absolute
Oh, we've got a
best.
surge. We've got a surge.
I don't think he's going to do. He's ducked to the inside. He's going to be close on the line. Green Book takes it out then. Have I got the right winning post? Just. 2 came clear. Really strong form that of a very good horse in Don Levant, who was surely set too much to do. Barry Orr, make some sense of that for us.
Yeah, Green Book had a Betfair SB of 7.8. Hit a high in running of, traded at a high in running on the Betfair Exchange of 9.34. So not really that high at all in running, considering he was up on the bunny all the way. Your runner-up Beauport hit a low of 1.68. So around the 6-4 on mark for that. Favourite for me was a little bit disappointing. A long way out of his ground. Tired jump at the last as well. So I don't know. It's a watch and brief for him for now. Don's Levant for Isabella Williams riding for a father trade at a low of 6.2.
Rioja flop leaves punters in the red.
Oh, you've listened. Oh, I tell you what, where did that come from? Have you been thinking about that since?
I was through the race, yeah.
Yeah. What about Green Book opens up? I tell you what, I do these all the time.
Oh,
Do you? What for? For your normal job?
Yes, in the analysis, you always have little
When you're
22
being
characters you
when
get.
you're being a senior analyst.
Infuriating doing it, actually, but we do enjoy it doing it sometimes. You can have
You
a little
have to
bit of
do
fun
that,
with it.
don't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's,
get a little headline, don't you, on your...
we do get a little headline. That's right, you absolutely do. Yeah, you get 22 characters, but we
you
can
make
have
sure
a,
that
we
you're-
can have a bit of fun with it sometimes. All right, so there we are. We're done and dusted. One more to come from Sandown, isn't there? We're
When's this
building up
race
for the
at
Irish Gold
Leopardstown
Cup.
coming up? Come on, I want to
12
watch
minutes.
3:15.
some Grade 1 racing. Why are we watching Musselburgh for? It's rubbish.
Look,
isn't it?
we're
Let's
not.
watch-
We're not.
We need to watch Leopardstown.
We're not.
Leopardstown's the best
We're
stuff.
not. We're
this
just,
is
look,
Wetherby anyway.
Look,
What's this, Wetherby?
You're having
We're
a
not
bad day,
watching-
aren't you?
No, Leopardstown's our next race, the Irish Gold Cup, isn't
No, it is. We've got
Can we
RTV
talk
on
about?
here.
Can we
He's-
talk about
we've got the
Leopardstown?
screen
now?
on here. He's having a shocker.
Can we
so-
talk about Leopardstown?
Right, I want to talk about. I know you're having a bad day. I know you're going to need more beers than normal after this show. And let me tell you can sink a few. Long press confirmed. Turner's as the target, as if we didn't know. Shall I tell you what Nisha said straight away afterwards to our senior writer Lee Mottershead, who thankfully has sent me his quotes. I'm always looking at what scalps a horse has got in the cupboard and what he has beaten. I like that. You can easily tone down your expectations as if you look at that things from that point of view. But with a horse, it's always been his manner of jumping, the way he's done things, that he's given everyone optimism. All right, so it's just a little bit Eric Cantona like there, isn't she? I'm not one for pipe dreams. All I'm ever thinking about is the next race, and it's one at a time. However, there's no point now thinking of any alternative but to Cheltenham. She's not really told us whether she thinks she'll win. She's not really told how much she's got in the locker. No. She's talking about scalps and cupboards.
It's Venetia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she does, isn't it?
It's like talking to the Riddler.
Oh, I thought you were going to do that with the headlines then at one point. Okay, all right.
When I was at Hunting a couple of Fridays ago,
When you were by the
one of
toilets.
Poste's ex horses won
I
the
wonder
bumper
what
there.
on earth he was going to say there.
Yeah, so did I was thinking
By the toilets. Be careful.
Venetia was there actually, and she was having a lovely day. And
Did
she
you
had
talk to
two
her?
winners. No, she was there with a bunch of owners.
She doesn't like to talk to the press too much. Let's
Doesn't
just put it
she?
that way. Not really.
She wouldn't have known that I was part of the
I
press.
sat in Kempton's Panoramic Restaurant with her many, many moons ago on the table next to her, and she was having a good day, let's put it that way. And I tried afterwards to turn around and have a look. I'm with Dave Orton or whatever. Short shrift and off she went.
She's great, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, just for doing that.
Yeah. Well, every season she hits the punters love her, don't you know?
Oh,
And Charlie
yeah.
Doyle won Ladbrokes Trophy. You know, Rauper Guy. You know, she's now got 2 proper championship horses.
And she's been doing it for years. I mean, let's not forget, she was like Lady Rebecca all those years ago, wasn't she? And
All right.
that was in the 90s.
I'm being told by the gallery that we should start warming up now.
Yeah,
for
I
the
was telling you
3:15.
that 10 minutes ago, Dave.
Well,
Come
you've
on,
already
let's-
done your preview for it. That's
Yeah,
what we know
can
that
we
you're
go
not
again?
on
No,
Asterion.
I'm just telling you Asterion for
Poor old Asterion Falange can't win according to G. Let us
You
know.
hate
Let's build
him,
up some
Asterion
socials. I'll
Falange.
have a look at the thing. But remember this time last year, Ken Boy, he just been seen off by Aplutard, didn't he? Will he repeat the feat of 2021? Let's have a look at what happened last year.
Here we go. This is it. The Irish Gold Cup, 3 miles and half a furlong. Then I'll make it 17 fences to jump. And Ken Boy's been given an easy
Stolen a
lead.
fence here, isn't he?
He's stolen 5 lengths, the boy.
They've got to come to him. He's going to let the others come to him before he starts to lengthen from the front, I would imagine.
Ken Boy in front. He's not got away though. They're coming back at Ken Boy. Manella Indo into second.
I reckon
the
he hangs
Storyteller
on.
in third. Ken Boy has a lead of a length. He does stay, doesn't he, Ken
Yeah.
Boy? Here's the last for Ken Boy.
Over it.
Jumps it well. Manella Indo looks tired now in second. The Storyteller back in third. They're not closing at all, are they? Ken Boy by a length and a half. Can he last home this time? I think he will.
Will he be able to steal a march? And I'll tell you what, there was some right old banter going on when we were watching those clips. It was definitely a lockdown haircut for you there, wasn't it?
was, yeah.
I wondered whether I was wearing the same top. That would have been good. Great to see Enzo in the studio as well, giving it the call. Barry, the worry here as we build up now for what is, I guess, the pièce de la résistance on the first day of the Dublin Racing Festival. The Gold Cup horses come out. Will Ken Boy be able to lead Frodon?
Yes, I think he will, because Frodon doesn't necessarily have to lead, Dave. We know Ken Boy will want to get off in front, but I think Frodon would be happy if they're not setting crazy fractions the way they did when Manella Indo took him on in the King George on Boxing Day. Well, then, if it's not crazy fractions, I'm sure Bryony will be happy to go along with Ken Boy. But if Ken Boy's going real strong fractions, well, then Frodon will probably sit in behind. Be interesting. Obviously, all the money's been for Asteria Falange, a horse that unseated rider in the John Durkin and fell in the King George. It's hard to face into him. He's been backed at 11-2 into 11-4. I'm a layer of him all day at that price, G-Rod. So get your laying boots on. We're looking to take 50 quid out of him. 3.85 he is now. He was 3.75 a minute ago. I think he'll drift. Public will be on Ken Boy's side. Manila Indo, again, they've left the cheek pieces off. Obviously, he's on a bit of a recovery mission. This is a stepping stone for him to the Gold Cup. He's my Gold Cup horse, but I'd like to see him show a bit of his old sparkle here as well. He doesn't necessarily have to win, but if he runs well here, it'll leave him spot on for the Gold Cup. Jana Dill is the one there's been money for as well at JP's. He's into 8, having been back at much bigger prices as well. Frodon is out to 7.6, having been 5-2 favoured in this race when we first went up, is out to 13-2. So that's a massive drifter. Janadil was back to the highest 17. So he's the real money horse in the race, Janadil. Asterion Falange, you can say the same around the head of the market, but Frodon absolutely friendless in this.
It's remarkable, isn't it? At the start of the week, we were looking like he could go off Fav 11-4ish. It stinks. I guess the Nichols form has had something to do with going into that. But today has shown that Paul's about to turn it around again, the champion trainer. But he's a massive price, isn't he? I mean, Andy Sim out there in Chatland says track will really suit Frodon, G.
Yeah, he's my day the winner. Yeah. He is surely the wrong price judged purely on the Down Royal run. When he beat Galvin, Galvin was right at his best that day. Manella Indo was obviously behind him for a lot of people saying he needed the run. Forget the last run in the King George, beaten 20 odd lengths. I mean, Bryony doesn't get it wrong very often from the front, but They definitely went too quick in that race.
How hard a race did he and Manila Indo have in that? I mean, Manila Indo pulled up before, didn't he? Frodon kept on for fourth.
But talking about hard races, last season's Gold Cup was one running an insane time and ended up being an absolute battle of wheels.
Yeah.
And I don't think Manila Indo's looked the same all since then. And
there is that.
Plutard, yes, might have hacked up by 20-odd lengths at Haydock next time, but he obviously was turned over by Galvin at last. I don't think Galvin's anything special. I'm not sure that these Irish chasers are that good. These 3 mile Irish chasers. I think that Protectorate will win the Gold Cup, and I think Frodon will beat him here.
You are the most patriotic tipster I've ever met in my life. You really are.
Nothing
wrong with it. I know you love the
Well,
game.
why do you just run me through why
What's
you
the last
like
Irish horse you tipped?
Flooring Porter? Probably. Just run me through why you like Asterion for
Said at the start of the season, my mate Mozzie would win every race he
That's
ran
a
in.
low blow.
Oh, that's right.
Every race he ran in, and you didn't care what happened at Cheltenham. He'd have made so much money between now and then.
That is
Better the season when he got beaten in the Royal Bond.
He should have won.
He was livid
He should
about
have
it.
won
He
that
was
one.
livid about that. My WhatsApp was going crazy.
Do you know that my mate Mozzie has only made one mistake in his whole career over hurdles, and it came at the last
in the
flight
Royal
in
Bond.
the Royal Bond. It's
yeah.
such a shame. Just when he needed a good one,
We see him tomorrow,
got it
of course,
wrong.
don't
he
we?
could win tomorrow, my mate Mozzie.
Up against Sir
He
Gerhard,
could definitely beat Sir
Gerhard.
Gerhard. I think he'll beat Sir Gerhard, actually.
I love it. I love it. See the ball big. Don't let one defeat put you
Well,
off.
I'm back here tomorrow, and he'll be my best bet of the day, my mate Mozzie.
Yeah, you are back tomorrow.
Yeah,
aren't you?
I fancy him. Big.
Yeah, God help me. Right, Asterion Forlange. I've put him up. Why? I just think that there are... I worry about Kenboy. I think if you had to have one horse on paper, for me, it would be last year's winner, Kenboy. I know that Handicapper says he's got £10 to find with Manila Indo. But this is his... He came from a hard race in the Savills last year. He pinched it, didn't he, pretty much? But he kept going. He loved the ground. Leopardstown is his track. Asterion, we're not sure about. Great to see Brian Cooper keeping the ride, by the way.
You couldn't have him at 5-2, Dave. Even you.
5-2's
surely,
madness.
surely
He was
it's
around about 9-2 yesterday, and it looked like the sort of like, yeah, I'll throw a couple at him. Deltaworth's always been one of my favourite horses. Remarkable to think that the 2020 winner is still only a 9-year-old. He was sore, jarred up last season. He's coming back. First time cheap pieces for him, Jack Kennedy on. Isn't it interesting, Barry, Puppy Power's got the ride now, of course, on Manila Indo, with Rachel, of course, riding Plutard come March.
Yeah, and Jack, obviously, Gigginstown, he has to ride for them. Not to say they mightn't even have a runner in the Gold Cup, Gigginstown. They're probably odds on to have, but it's a bitter pill for him to swallow, getting off a Gold Cup winner. Maybe not so much following that run in the King George. And Henry de Bromhead's horse is just not firing on all cylinders still. But yeah, it's Puppy Power on Manila. He's a great horseman without a shadow of a doubt. He's only back from injury, really. He's only like a little over a week back from injury.
Yeah.
But I think he's rode a winner, and this will be a good spin for him.
We should say that the fourth race went the way of Tony Martin. Great to see Tony Martin having a winner.
Yeah, got a quote of 20-1 for the Coral Cup. That.
Oh, good time, Johnny. My worry about that is, do you remember he came to Cheltenham to have his sighter? He just did not perform whatsoever. He's so disappointing.
That was very well tipped up today in your post.
Was it?
Yeah, again, if you read all the Saturday jurors, Barry O'Neill, I think, was on there, the amateur jockey, and Fran Berry as well. I think they were.
Do you run the Saturday jury? You run the Friday one, don't you?
Yeah, I have a bit of input into the questions. Okay. I got a little bit grumpy with Fran and Barry O'Neill because they ignored my questions and answered questions about.
Well, thank God they did, because they put us on the winner of the big.
One of my questions was, what do you fancy at Wetherby and Musselburgh? And they were like, oh, I don't really care what's run at Wetherby and Musselburgh, but back this at Leopardstown, it was good time,
I think they're
Johnny.
probably echoing a lot of people out there today. Let's put it that way. But thank God for a hoist.
And G-Rod.
Well, I want to watch the Irish racing too.
You want to have a look at it because it's something you do, isn't it? The jury, Barry, on a Saturday. Have you ever ignored G-Rod? Surely not.
No.
Never. I would never ignore anyone from the Racing Post.
All right, the pro remains out there. Okay, let's hope you're having a good afternoon. We've got, around about half an hour left of the show. Well, it's another Grade 1 coming your way. What a day tomorrow promises to be. Back at 1 p.m. myself, G-Rod, Matty Batch and Ryan McHugh will be sitting in for Barry, because you can see him if you go to Leopardstown tomorrow. He gets to taste the action there. What wins this, Posty? I've not asked you yet.
Kenboy.
Think that he'll just keep seeing them off?
Yeah, I think he will. I think, it was a good run the last day. And as you've you kind of wrote the script for me. He loves this track. everything's sort of in his favour.
I saw you nodding as I was saying that. It's not often I get that sort of reaction.
No, it's rare.
It is rare. It is rare.
He loves it here, don't he?
Well, my worry about him here is that Frodon, I think he's only got one way of running.
What, Frodon?
I think he will try, especially on this track, I think he will try and get to the front.
No, I don't think that they will. I think Brian will just go along at her own pace this time.
We shall see. He tends to get.
I mean, Paul Townend saying he thinks Frodon will help him.
What, by egging him on a bit?
Yeah.
You saw from the commentary that Enzo did for us last year that Kenboy, he attacked. Hugh Masson says, I want to see Manolo run well, then I'll back him for gold. I think he's an out-and-out Cheltenham horse. We talked about this yesterday on some of the feature shows. Isn't it amazing that last year's Gold Cup winner, because it's not often a division where you become like a Buena Vista, who used to just turn up one day
in years gone by, there were plenty of Gold Cup winners that was the pinnacle, wasn't it? And they didn't
it's
really...
very old school in this day and age, though, isn't it? Usually you go King George, you go Betfair.
No, but I'm saying before, in times gone by, there'd be plenty of Gold Cup winners that wouldn't really ever pitch up again.
Do you think that Aplutard is the only one I think that's capable of doing that at the moment?
He's a weird Gold Cup horse because when he won the Gold Cup last year, he ran to an RPR 179. He has not achieved anything within £9 of that anywhere else in any other race in his whole life.
But he's got an amazing festival record, hasn't he?
His festival record is very good.
Albert Bartlett should have won an RSA, won a Gold Cup.
Yeah. He's very good at Cheltenham, so you could be right.
Remarkable. Yeah, and a lot of the wise guy tipsters will be putting him up for that. But look, this is all about Team Mullins, as they say. He's going for a 4th win from 5 races so far at the Dublin Racing Festival. He's still got, of course, Vassal Vega to come in the last. Gordon Elliott napped his bumper horse in that as well for us. That'll be after we go off air. And like I say, we'll be back tomorrow. Cannot wait. Stick with us. Right, good luck wherever you're playing. It is the Irish Gold Cup. Isn't it great to see these horses out? I want to have a quick word for Conflated here. There's been a little bit of money for this chap. He's only an 8-year-old and he comes in off a career best. They see him as a future national horse. Watch out for him. He could yet have a say. And as they jump up, Bryony, she's only got one thing in mind, and that's making it. And over the first, he wings. Kenboy sits in second. He's just going to accept it. Conflated on the inside, a little bit keen, as is Manello Indo. No headgear for him today. Looking for Delta Work. Could he just bounce back the 2020 winner? They reckon they've got him right at home again. He's in 4th. Asteria Phalange with Shellos Emery. A big outsider in this over the wrong trip, right out the back. And Janadil. A lot of people fancy this one as a bit of a flyer against stablemate Allaho in the Ryanair. Okay, Posty, a couple of
bit of a difference
down.
of opinion here, haven't we? We've got Frodon and Dave and Bryony Frost and Conflated and Davy Russell down the inner. Paul Townend seeming to noticeably stay away from Frodon and being followed by the vast majority of the field. Do you think that's
a clever move? Because if you're on a horse that likes to get on with it, like Kenboy, you don't want him eyeballing,
I think that's exactly right, yeah. As in,
right.
certainly at this stage of the race, he doesn't want to be getting into a protracted battle this early.
Okay.
Frodon's had a little jink there.
He did it at the previous fence as well.
Did it at the previce fence as well. It's as if she's just bustling him inside the wing or something.
Do you think that they have different wings there?
I don't know what to say to that. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not sure. We're through the road. We can talk about it afterwards, maybe. Your eye is just drawn to Asterion Phalange and how he's getting on, isn't it? Because you think at one point he'll look dangerous in this race, and I'll tell you, he stood off that one.
Well, he's jumping well now, but they
slow jump out the back.
They ain't going any pace, are they?
No. Okay, Barry. Let's come to you on the
didn't have that, did he?
Let's come on the far side then, Barry. Let's come to you because the styles have been adopted, and as I was expecting, Frodon has gone on. Now he's a massive drifter. Has he come in?
No, it's still 7. Had a Betfair be a 7.39. Is still trading at 7 on the exchange. Asterion Phalange has come in at the 3.55. Would you believe? That's your in-running favourite at the moment. Manila Indo is trapping away nicely, 5.5. Kenboy 4.2. 9.4 now, Frodon, drifting all the time.
Yeah, and he's not going with quite as much zest as 2021 winner Kenboy is, but up until the bends, I was thinking you don't want to. One thing Frodon hasn't had in the King George is it easy. He's got it easy here, but of course when they go around the bends posted, they have to go close up again.
Yeah.
If you're on the closest, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, but I think right now, G said, I mean, I don't think they're going a crazy gallop. I think it's all fairly sensible field, tightly packed together, and like everything travelling very, very comfortably right now, as you'd expect as they go past us go past the line with a circuit to go. And I mean, like I say, it'd be very hard to be negative about anything right now for me.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. And they're being more restrained this time, unsurprisingly. Robbie Power on Manila Indo. Him and Asterion, the two, I think, interest horses for the Gold Cup. mark it along the lines here. Certainly today is steering for Lange, but Milano fourth in this last year. If he places, he's going to come in again for the GC,
Yeah,
isn't
everyone will be on him again, won't they? Steering for Lange is not really going out to his right, is he, Dave? He's been fairly straight, which I think is why his price has come in.
I'll tell you what, he's been given some stick on social media, hasn't he, steering for Lange? You see all the memes that come in.
Hugely talented horse, isn't he? But
yeah. And of course, this is the place where he got his grade 1. So, Frodon at the moment, I'm surprised Barry's not coming in a bit. I think this is exactly what they would want at Team Ditchy, an easy lead.
Out to 8. I wouldn't say he's getting an easy lead, but he's 9.6 now, 3.15 Asterion Phalange, 4.7 Kemboy, 4.4 Manila Indo. He's the mover now in the exchange market in running.
Yeah, he is going well. So it's conflated on the inside. Like I say, I'm expecting this one to run well. And we spoke to Elliot yesterday. I think he's getting it easier than you reckon, Frodon. It's only round the bends that they look like they're coming close up. I'm surprised. I guess Townend just knows that if he goes for Frodon, he's thinking Manila Indo couldn't do it. I'm probably not going to be able to either. He is such an interesting player tactically in this Frodon. And like I say, if you're on him, do not think he's beaten at all. But Posty, if you had to pick one now.
Oh, I'm still with Kemboy. I'm happy at the moment.
All right, G.
Good jump by Frodon. Yeah,
I'll
stick with Frodon.
Gilos Emery on seats out the back.
Asterion Phalange is going really well, Dave. He's jumped very well. He's not made any horlicks of anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very difficult to pull anything
The
apart.
thing with Asterion, though, is by now he's usually made 2 or 3 mistakes.
Why have we not got a clock here? Why is my average clock not here?
It's
That's what I
Ireland.
want
We
to
don't
see.
get a clock in Ireland.
I tell you what, Frodon's beautiful to watch him. I'm
Win
getting a
Docs,
bit
they
sucked
don't do
in here.
clocks.
If I was betting in running now, he would be on my side for sure.
Who? Frodon?
Yeah, without question. Yeah, absolutely. And I keep doing this with him. When he won the King George, I kept saying, what price is he? What price is he? Look at him. Look at the way he taxes
Loving it.
expenses.
He's loving it.
Absolutely loving life.
So is Asterion, though. He is going well now, this Dave. He's into a very short price.
Asterion is 13 to 8 now, would you believe, in running?
Yeah.
Kemboy's still pulling.
2.34.
Right, okay. Well, we must be about 5 out or something now, are we? Maybe even closer
I
than
think
that.
that's the 4th last.
Yeah.
Fourth. And again,
Oh,
I tell
Kemboy
you
came
what,
up.
Oh, there's the mistake by Asterion. There it is, the first one.
Okay, Asterian's hit his
That was
first
the
fence.
that was the 4th last.
that
Why
was
is he so short still? Look
Final
at it.
ditch,
In between the
Is that
fences.
all cantering?
Look at
they
Janadil
did have
as
a bit of
well.
a sprint finish in.
This is absolutely
everything just
fascinating.
Played
jumps.
it into 9.4 for you, Dave.
Yeah, very interesting because he's having a piece of the lead now. Isn't this interesting that here we go 3
Well,
out,
good jump by
and all of a
Conflated
sudden
there.
Frodon a little bit slower in the air. Look at this Conflated, absolutely. Like I said, I thought it was national. That's what it was all about.
4.9.
Frodon any price.
And here comes Asterion as well. Right, Frodon now starting to struggle.
Asterion.
Frodon absolutely going to be a massive price now, isn't he? Okay, Conflated takes it up then.
Asterion made a
This
bloomer
is
there.
3 out then. Okay, was this 3 out? 2 out? I don't know where I am.
That's 2 out.
2 out.
All right, okay. Kemboy then. Not unlike now Manila
This is
Indo comes
absolutely
off.
incredible.
This is
Cruising in
gone.
front.
This is ridiculous, isn't it? Unbelievable.
What
Davy
price is
Russell's
this for the
thinking,
Gold
aye,
Cup?
boys, where are you? This is horse they think will stay at Grand National.
Well, he's
This
not
is
gonna
going to
win a
win.
Grand National
Could
if he
this
wins
be?
this.
Could this be a flyer for the Gold Cup? Look at Manila Indo now.
Manila
Here
out
comes
after.
Manila Indo. This is going to be a sensational finish, I think, whatever happens.
Conflated.
This could be a very long way home on the running. Conflated then goes for it. All on the jump.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's a
made a
bit
mistake.
tight as well. Davy Russell will be panicking. Can Manila Indo possibly get him?
gonna get him,
Janadil
isn't
running
he?
a
Manila
lovely
Indo.
trial
He's not.
for the
He's gonna get
Ryanair.
him.
This is
No,
gone,
he's
isn't it?
not.
He is.
Gordon Elliott is going to win the Irish Gold Cup, not with Delta Work, but with Conflated. Hats off. We gave him a mention before. We said he'd coming in off a career best. Would it be national? Could it now be Gold Cup? My Lord, more questions than answers. Manila Indo's second. Janadil, beautiful run there from him back in third, and some distance back to Asterion Phalange. My goodness me, Barry Orr, he attacked that race, didn't he?
Jenny, how do you start picking that apart? It's crazy stuff altogether. The Betfair SP at 27 Conflated. Won a handicap last day and went up £12 for that. Put him on a mark, I think, of around 157. But, you know, Manila Indo's ran a cracker in second, it has to be said, following his very disappointing run in the King George. He's the horse to take out of the race for me. Trade at 1.50 jumping, after jumping the last. So 2-1 on. Manila Indo traded in running. Asterion Phalange, although never at any stage did he get anywhere near the lead, traded at a low of 2.10, 11 to 10. Go figure that. I think he's ran on to finish fourth at the finish. Janadil.
Is that
Sorry?
just crazy respect for Mullins there, Barry? Is that what it is? I mean, because that's madness,
Well, I mean,
isn't it?
he travelled well to the third last, but, you know, I think it's crazy, that he's traded
Everything
that
travelled
short.
well, didn't it?
I'll tell you
Well,
what.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they all travelled well with
This studio has seen some shouts, guys,
Until
I'll
they
tell you.
jumped second last.
I'll tell you what.
But,
Both Keels and Tom Segal gave that a very, very favourable mention when they sat in here with Ross Briley last night as well. I spoke to Gordon Elliott about it yesterday. He said Will he be a national horse? Will he be a Gold Cup horse? We're not sure. He's only 8-year-old Poste. Are we rubbing our eyes and seeing believing, or is this going to be what we see coming up the hill?
Well, probably he ain't going to be a national horse now, is he?
Well, he's 157. What's he beaten? So he's just beaten a 175 horse by what?
He's got to be. He's got to be. Even if the handicapper don't take it literally, he's got to be 170 after today.
What do you reckon, G? You're the handicapper amongst us.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go that high.
I don't.
168.
I think you're probably looking at about 165.
Do you think?
Really?
It's in between 165 and 170, isn't it?
He's 8-1 from 66 for the Gold Cup.
Woo-hoo! Who out there followed in Tom S then and Paul Keeley, who's having a right old day? Kills would be an absolute mare.
I mean,
Kills a bit
from a kicking standpoint, he's definitely going for the Gold Cup now, isn't he? I mean, he's just won a Grade 1.
Yeah, well, Davy Russell, of course, will be back. Will be riding Galvin, you would imagine. So we said poor Jack Kennedy beforehand. Barry, all of a sudden, long time. It's only a day in this game, isn't it? All of a sudden, he's on a buzzer. Yeah.
It could be one for. It could be one for Jack Kennedy to be riding.
Remarkable.
It's a strange old game, isn't it?
Isn't it? Very much so. But I'll tell you what, Frodon sucked me in there a little bit. I was disappointed. He just
massively.
What do you mean massively? He jumped the third last very slow. And
Manila Indo 4-1 from 6-1.
That was much better, wasn't it? I mean, like if you're liking him for the Gold Cup,
he wants the hill, doesn't he? He jumped a lot better there. Yeah, he's not really got Leopardstown form, has he? But I don't know. Janadil run very well, didn't he? Over a trip, probably stretches him. They rode him to get it. He could definitely place in a Ryanair, couldn't he, Janadil?
Maybe, yeah. So that is a hard race to pick apart, isn't it?
Oh, really?
That
hard
is.
race.
You could say that it depends, especially if you're trying to rate it. You could say that maybe Manila Indo has run to the same level as he ran to last year.
Ken Boy's disappointing, wasn't he?
Well, he got beat by Ken.
Does he have to make all? Do you think now? Is that just?
I'd just say he just wasn't good enough.
He was pulling.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the race wasn't run to suit him, like you say, that he couldn't dominate. But
you're good at headlines, but if you were analysing, we need to find reasons why they've run badly. I think he looked a bit keen there for me, and he wasn't
keen.
leading.
He always just carries his head high. He wasn't keen at all.
If we've seen a Gold Cup winner today, it's probably a.
I'm sorry, but he wasn't
Stick to headlines.
I mean, like.
You think?
It's good when he gets someone for the industry.
I don't think the Gold Cup winner ran in that race.
No. Do you think it will come from the Savills like the previous year? If you're having a hard race, you want it in the Savills.
Well, let's be honest.
Has that had a hard race though? Conflated.
Last week we sat here and we hammered Chantry House for beating Santini and said that's not a Gold Cup, and we have to do the same with that. I mean, that has come out of nowhere, hasn't it? Conflated.
First time over. I would say it's first time over the trip. Of course, he ran behind Monkfish, didn't he, as a novice, and then he came back. It's going
to be a great Gold Cup, isn't it?
He got thrashed by Janadil as a novice as well. So it is a weird one, isn't it? He's got El Cateria form from, I don't know, but I just got a funny vibe about him yesterday when I was speaking to the trainer. And anyway,
I think Eddie O'Leary said he was annoyed with Gordon because Gordon didn't want to run the handicap tomorrow, and Eddie did.
Yeah,
there's a handicap tomorrow that Eddie thought he should have ran in.
Whether he is a Grand National horse or not, could he still be in the future down the line? I don't know, but it's Gold Cup now. Chris Hall says, I had the same £10 at 50s after watching RP last night. LOL, you're laughing all the way, Chris. Fair play for following them in. Honestly, Kills will be to be at Sandown with Kills now.
Well, when Kills has a big winner at Sandown, it's actually not that much fun to be with him. Because literally he gets mobbed. Like everyone comes over and like, well done Kills, well done Kills, well done Kills.
Oh, right, okay. Because they carried him out on Tingle Creek down the Grenadine, didn't they? Oh, the shield, cigarette going everywhere. And
it was funny, the character.
He has been dry as well, Kills, so I'm sure it's February now. I'm sure he's allowing himself to go back on the old wagon. So anyway, great stuff. If you're there, go and see the great man. That was a big tip from Tom as well. Tom's having some winter as well, isn't he? Oh, it's exciting times. All right, where do we go next? We are back to Sandown, aren't we? It's the Masters. One of my best bets of the day comes in this. But Barry Orr, you like one that's been well back for a resurgent, Ollie Murphy.
Yeah, I do. I like Linley King here. It's a 4.1 Fahrenheit, 4.7 Linley King, 5-star getaway, 6'8", 8-2 Adisha Abba, and 11 bar cap course was taken out the other day because of the ground by Paul Nichols is 11. Yeah, Linley King. He was 13-day favourite in air in a handicap chase. He sprawled on land and 4 out, Dave, and he still ran really, really well to finish third in the race under the circumstances. He's still in here off 127. He's only a 7-year-old, good to soft, perfect for him. And the Aintree race is working out okay with Kilteely Briggs having won today, gone in again today. So Yeah, I like. There's a lot to like about this horse. Aidan Coleman for Ollie Murphy, 5.4 at the moment. G-Rod, happy to be a price taker here. We'll have 50 quid on him at 5.4 for the charity.
There we go. All right, you have been told. And Ollie Murphy Yard, and these colours in particular, having a pretty good day. They had a winner up at Wetherby. They've got a strongly fancied horse in the bumper up there, for those of you that are hanging on for the last at Wetherby. Dr. Seb, I think, they're expecting that to go very close. And he's got the Wolf coming up in the Edinburgh National as well, our final race. Ollie Murphy also inoculates his horses on the 1st of January, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dan Skelton does. I think stacks of them do now. I wouldn't kind of read too much into all of that, you know.
I'll tell you what, if you're back in Nichols horses, you were reading all about it, weren't you?
Is that what you're looking for a reason why they're not run? You know, a vast majority. I think a massive.
They say it takes them a couple of weeks to get over it.
It does, but a massive amount of yards do that right now.
Why in January, not in the summer? Is it?
Well, because it's a quieter time of the year. They do it every 6 months now. You see, in theory, they think it helps the health of the horses across the board to do it every 6 months. Before you and used to do it annually. So.
Do you remember a couple of years ago, before even COVID hit, we had that weird
equine flu outbreak.
Lockdown, didn't we, of sorts, and you couldn't run your horse unless it had been inoculated.
Yeah,
crazy.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
What a game. I don't like Faraday here, but as Kills put this up, it's a Sandown horse, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. Faraday, Venetia Williams has won this a couple of times with similar sorts of horses. That might be why. I'm with 5-star Getaway.
Oh,
I'm with Lindley King.
Yeah,
so we're 2-2. This is a two-way split. You're with Barry.
Yeah.
I'm with, and we need a winner.
We do need a winner. Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah,
it really has.
It was a cracking performance by Lindley King to get as close as he did after the mistake he made at
The close-up comment is not one you often see. I've never used it when doing close-up. Did well in the circumstances. That gets you going a little bit out there. And talking about going, we are off and running. Dave Orton, of course, going for a hat-trick in the race. He's up there early. With, on the inside, Lamilos, the last time out winner for for Tim Vaughan. Faraday up there as well with under supervision.
Loads of pace on him, but they are going downhill, Dave, of course.
Cat course out the back. He was a late non-runner in the Sky Bet, wasn't he? 5-star Getaway, my idea, one of the best bets of the day. He was really well backed in the week. Christian Williams, I think he's got a proper race in him. Could this be it? Lindley King out the back as well. And they are going to right old gallop, aren't they? Kills like real steel. He didn't take that at all well.
Neither did Lindley King.
Okay, Lindley King as well. What about Tom Butley, who's riding real steel? Obviously, what do we know about him, Posty?
So he is, his old man is heavily involved with the Nigel Hawke yard.
Kieran Buckley.
No, Kieran's his brother.
Yeah, of course. All right.
Eddie Buckley, is it?
Oh, right, okay, so the Buckley family.
Yeah. But he's a good young rider. He came from Charlie Longsden's, I think, this side did.
Yeah, he used to ride the mare, didn't he? He used to run in the Potemps a lot. Okay, now I've got him. All right. Well, Faraday, despite the fact he might have some stamina reservations, no worries about that, says Charlie Doy. She's got him right up there, hasn't he? And he's really enthusiastic as we approach the railway fences.
Yep.
Bang on, first time around. Okay, who doesn't like him? Who does? Had a bit of a look at that Lindley King, didn't he? And 5-star Getaway as well. Dacia Abba on the inside. Cap course taking warmer order, which suggests they're not going quickly at all. Because Harry Cobden says, no, I don't want to be
Lindley
out the
King
back
reminder. He's just been very novice-y so far.
Yeah, you don't usually win round Sandown if you jump like that, do you?
No, he's gone through the top of that one. So, but as we saw at Ayr last time, he's still in between the fences. We've got a model, haven't we? Two going clear.
Yeah, it's a typical Sandown race. You always get a couple go clear, and then, like I said, they pack back up at the pond fence, and then usually the ones in front go clearium. But famous old race this, Dave, if you read my preview today, which I'm sure, of course, you did.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Used to be called the Gainsborough Chase. And,
Tumbleweeds went past.
Very much a Gold Cup trial in its day, this race.
Won by?
Desert Orchid. Yeah. For, 2 or 3 times Desert Orchid won this race. Millhouse won this race. Beulah.
All I get is that these sort of things shoved down my throat. It was a long time ago. The game's totally changed.
Last Gold Cup winner to run in
Watford
this race, Dave.
Nearly won an FA Cup final. Come on.
1998 was the last Gold Cup winner to run in this race.
And you're still banging it out in the paper.
Yeah, Caldon went off 5-4 favourite in 1998 and was pulled up in this race.
You were struck for things to say, weren't you, when you did that preview?
Well, it's not a great race now, is it, Dave? That's part of the whole point of the race. No. If you look at it, I think the top weight this year was Real Steel, and he's rated 145. So it's hugely declined in quality in recent years.
He was a 160 horse.
Travelled well in a Gold Cup once, didn't he?
Yeah, Real Steel. We traded at 3.55 in running on Betfair in a Gold Cup once.
Okay, all right.
As you will find out once you've read my preview.
I will revisit it just for you. We'll revisit it just for you. But I'm glad that you came out on top of 5-star Getaway if you did the preview, Because you're seeing what I'm seeing. Are we happy with him as we go on to the far
There were a
side?
couple of sloppy leaps at the start.
Real steel under
Got
pressure,
too
by the
far
way,
behind.
lads.
Yeah, Kills has gone from 0 to 0 because a few people
Well,
would
he's
have backed
gone.
this at the start of
He's
the week.
gone, hasn't he?
This is a Nichols horse that is not going to bounce back on the day. You're going to put him up surely, isn't he?
A few of these Mullins horses have struggled since they went to
Nichols?
Nichols.
Oh, right, I see what you mean.
Eglantine de Toy.
The ex-Mullins horses.
Yeah, and what
Jared
was it?
Sullivan moved his whole operation, didn't he?
Lorena obviously went complete nuts.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Real Steel's gone.
Stormy Island, then went
Yeah.
back to Mullins.
Yeah, there has been a few of them, haven't there?
Don't
Right.
mention the war, Charlie.
Absolutely. Barry, let's come to you then on the far side. Lamilos has gone clear and he's still going really well himself. A last time out winner.
Yeah, he's half the price, 6.2. The Betfair SP at 13. Lamilos, your favourite though, Fahrenheit, very strong at 3.95. The one that we're on, Charlie, went out to 16 at one stage, but his jumping has improved as the races progressed, and he's still travelling well in himself, but it's still 12.5. 5-star getaway, 5.4.
He's persevering on Real Steel as well, isn't he, old Tom Butley? Obviously quite frustrated with him, but the jumping hasn't been there. Lindley King just does not like the Sandown fences, so there's going to have to be some tool to win this. Cap Call still catching my eye. But once again, in the staying chase, we've got 2 horses going clear. Will they stay there?
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think we might win. What do you think, Dave? He's going quite well.
Yeah, he's creeping. He needs to just get into a lovely
Faraday's going
railway
well as well.
rhythm.
Venetia Williams.
Hat-trick seeking Dacia Abba gets
we're
a
really
reminder.
travelling well here, Dave.
We
We're
are.
really
Cap
going
Course
well.
is travelling well as well, isn't he? The ground was deemed wrong for him, of course, in the Sky Bet. Could Plan B work out? But at the moment, Sam Twiston Davis fancies his chances, along with Alan Johns and Tim
I
Vaughan.
think we're going to win this day.
We are cruising,
absolutely
and this
cruising.
this guy is a good
Surely,
shot.
we've been
We're
here
laughing
before,
at
surely.
Posty.
This is going to win.
I'll tell you what, Nick Schofield, creepy closer, please, Nick. Here we go, the railway fences. Yeah, lovely. Absolutely loving that. Lindley King just hating this, isn't he, Posty?
Yeah, but he's kind of still keeping in there. But I
He
agree
needs to
with you.
go
I mean,
back hurdling, I think, that bloke.
No, he doesn't need
I
to go
tell
back
you what,
hurdling.
Faraday's not really enjoying life, is he, at the moment? Lamilos, though, as we go 4 out and over the last of the railway fences, thank goodness, says Lindley King. At the moment, Cap Course has fallen in a hole. Not today for him. Faraday not totally done with. Now, this is crucial for us, G. He's either holding on to nothing or we've got the winner.
This is where they all pack up and then either the leaders go clear or the one coming from behind goes and wins. Hopefully it's us.
You wouldn't rule out Dacia Abba, would he? He's usually heavy ground, of course.
I
He's
think
just
we're
finding
on the
it a bit
winner
lively.
here, Dave.
No, Ricky Johnson.
Look at Lindley King. He's coming back, isn't he? I resisted the zero
Not
temptation.
over yet for us, Charlie.
Yeah, it's not at all. Big Dave Orton making these bold statements again.
You need David Maxwell on this.
Surely we win.
Come
this.
on, the old getaway.
No
Come on.
chance.
This is us. This could be the winner we need, but nothing going better than Lamilos at the moment. The world-famous pond fence has been negated. All right, over we go.
Come on,
What's he
Nick,
got
you're
left?
cruising here.
5-star getaway is a
Come
course winner.
on.
Riding him, of course, for the distance. Under supervision. I think amazing is how these front runners do so well in these staying chases. Dacia Abba still hanging on in there. We need a good
Need a
jump
good
here,
one.
G. We got
Got a
it.
big one.
Come on then. Could this be Kitties like Mark 2? Come on, off we go.
No, he's not
They're
getting
still
there,
in
is he?
front. Now they're going for it. They're coming to the last fence. This is going to be brilliant, I think, for us. G's going to deliver between horses.
don't
Come
think he
on.
is.
Lamilos is getting
Big
away
one,
from
come
everything. Goes well. Oh,
No.
man. So Lamilos
getting
is
there,
doing it.
Dave.
5-star getaway, not good enough. Dacia Abba, he's your benchmark in the race. Could he possibly reel him in? This has been a great front-running
It's going to
ride.
be a thriller, Dave. He's
Is
coming
Dacia
home.
Abba going to get him? Up the
He's coming
hill.
home well.
No, he's not.
he's not gonna
Lamilos
get there.
hangs on. Yet another Saturday staying chase.
Front runner.
One from the front. Remarkable, isn't it? Under supervision, backed out. 5-star getaway. Did his best. Only third. Dacia Abba, what a great run that was on ground too lively for him as he bid to win it 3 times. Exciting stuff, Barry Orr.
Yeah, it really was. Dacia Abba trade at a low of 2.06, Dave. You had Fahrenheit trade at a low of 2.70, would you believe? Also there, we had 5-star getaway, your horse trade at 5-4 on 1.80. So trading relatively short there as well. Lindley King pulled up at the finish. I think the horse must have gone wrong after jumping that cross fence.
They'll be dreaming of the Welsh National for that winner now, I'm almost certain, don't you reckon? The Vaughan lot, they've mentioned it before with this chap. It's got to be the target now, isn't it? A very progressive young staying chaser then, but once again, one from the front. All right, we bid farewell to Sandown. A couple more still to come when we go off air there. Always great to have the Esher track here. We've been to Wetherby, we've been to Musselburgh, we've been to Ireland. We finish up in Scotland then. It is the Edinburgh National then in around about 7 minutes' time. One more to go then here on RP Live, but we are back tomorrow. Cannot wait for that. Who have we got tomorrow? Who's the highlight on Sunday for you, Posty? Have you looked at the card properly yet? Gallopin?
Gallopin de Champs, yeah.
I mean, he's up against Fury Road, isn't he? Tom Segal's put up for the Brown Advisory.
Yeah, but
No cakewalk.
it isn't. But I mean, he looks very special, doesn't he?
Paul Townend was interviewed by DJ on Friday, wasn't it? On Thursday, sorry. And he said, I just want to see him do it again. DJ called himself a glass half full chap, whereas Townend very much a glass half empty. I want to see him do it again. But that figure, 163, not even the greats got that first time out.
No, that's true. Yeah, he looks good, don't he? But he did only win a handicap at last season's Cheltenham Festival.
Yeah, but so did
Dom Poley.
Sir Deschamps, so did Dom Poley. Yeah, but they all end up in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, but they weren't that good at the end of the day, were they? Dom Poley and Sir Deschamps. I mean, they were all right.
Sir Deschamps should have won a Gold Cup.
They weren't champions,
I think
were
he
they?
went a bit too soon if you watched that back.
Yeah, possibly. That was the year Bobsworth won.
Yeah, don't get me going on that. One of the worst
Bobsworth came and mowed him
tipping
down.
examples that I've ever done. I said I was asked for a lay of the festival that I think in December, and I went, yeah, I don't think he's ruled out a prep for Bobsworth. He can't win, and peed it down on the day. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And they went too soon.
Yeah,
and it just served it up for him.
Yeah, suited him perfectly.
And I was all over Sir Deschamps that day.
Yeah, great race, wasn't it? The Edinburgh National.
Yes, bringing it back.
Obviously, Mel Rose was all up over this race yesterday, being from Edinburgh himself.
And a marathon chase.
Yeah, he absolutely loved this race.
What's he put up?
I got no idea, but he loves this race. Sadly, he's not here.
Oh, so
Run
we
us
don't
through
know. Well, he's coming back for the Idol, I can tell you that much.
He did say something about the Wolf, because the Wolf is a bit of a weird horse, isn't he? He's a bit like Asterion Falange.
Well,
he cannot jump. He whacks every fence, and then he flies home and often gets close without winning. He's like Biowise. We've mentioned
have you
him
put
a few
one up
times.
in this?
No, that's no winners for me today, Dave.
No,
from like 9 selections or
it's
something.
Have a guess anyway. Then.
Tomorrow I'm going to come in without the specs on.
Yeah, well, look, you've got lucky. It's only half time.
Yeah, exactly.
This weekend. I have put one up here, but let's find out what Barry thinks will win the lucky last.
So at the moment, Captain Caddyshack's a joint favourite Highland Hunter. It's 4.0 each of two. So that's 3-1, 4.5 the Wolf. Mighty Thunder 6.4, 9-2 Step Back. Highland Hunter was the horse I liked, and he races off the same mark that he was on when he finished second in the Carl Welch National earlier on, later last season or last year. And he's a horse I thought the ground could have just come from. They put plenty of water on. It looks like they've had some rain up there as well. So currently at 3.75. I wouldn't be backing at that price, G-Rod. I thought it was a tricky little race, trappy little contest. We'll have 25 quid on a 4.0 or at 4.0. And if we get matched, well and good. But I'm not going to chase his price down to 11-4. We're looking to back him at 3-1.
All right then. Class will come to the fore, says Barry Orr. With the Welsh National second. Of course, he has one up at Musselburgh when Red Paul Nichols is gambit on this, and he basically said we weren't going to run him. We had a look at the runners and thought, all right, he could do this. Like Barry says, he wants the ground. Mighty Thunder last year's winner pulled up, of course, behind him last time. He's got a lot more Mighty Thunder on his back, hasn't he? He was 129, courtesy of the Scottish National winners, now 148. So I like Step Back here.
Really?
Tom Segal's put this up as well in the paper, and he was never going to win on his comeback. And if Lenny Bradstock can get a tune out of him, this is the right race for him, I think. For the Bradstocks, Coney Gree, of course, and etc. Carruthers, as Matty Batch will keep telling us tomorrow. I think he can run well at a price here, actually, the 12-year-old. The Wolf is an interesting horse, because if he ever gets it right, there's a big one in him. He must be quite infuriating. And Ollie started to train a few like this, didn't he? Itchy feet, etc. You know, the horses that looked like they were going to hold it for him, then they would make the odd error and all that sort of stuff. If you remember on his comeback, was it Donny when he made his comeback? He was fourth that day.
Yeah, 2 for gold.
That's right, in the Corto Rico 2 for gold race, which now looks slightly better form, doesn't it, with 2 for gold going winning at Linfield. He would have been bang there had he not. Was it 3 out that he walked through?
Yeah.
There's
a lot of jumping in this race.
How many fences are there? Do we know? Let's have a little look down. How many fences are there? Let's have a look. There are number of fences. Oh yeah, and it doesn't actually tell us on the Racing Post website where it usually does, which is not very helpful.
That's probably because they don't run over 3 miles, 7.5 furlongs.
There'll be 20 plus though. So
yeah.
So who's going to jump the best, Posty?
I like Highland Hunter, but I've gone for, and he's actually short, and I thought he was going to be Captain Caddyshack.
What is this about? Why is this so short? He's a massive character.
He's been running Hunter chasing, hasn't he? And his mark has come down quite a long way because of that. And this is second run back of the season. I mean, ran on bad ground behind Black Lion at Haydock. And I just think low racing weight, Liam Harrison, talented young rider. He'll like the nicer ground up here. And I just was wary of Highland Hunter because of the Welsh National, hard race coming back to here.
This was one of the horses that David Maxwell bought, wasn't it, a couple of seasons ago? And it was when people started to throw mud at David Maxwell because this horse made a bit of a monkey of him a couple of times, didn't he? Just utter mulish.
He was never any good. I mean, he's a lot better now than he ever was, isn't he, David Maxwell? But is this a naff? A naffnal?
This is a naffnal.
Is it a naffnal?
This is what Bruce Millington coined.
His term.
Naffnals.
It's a Bruce Millington
This
term.
is an Edinburgh national, and he said unless it's one of the biggies, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, it's a naffnal.
It's a naffnal.
And I think we can kind of say that, can't we? Jack Reeve, who's doing our socials today, said, "I'm shattered. Goodness, know how you feel." Well,
I mean, it's still 26 grand though, isn't it? You wouldn't mind winning it.
Absolutely, and it's a terrestrial race as well. It's a massive weekend up there for them, isn't it? So, lots been said about the runners over there. There was a 3-runner race earlier, wasn't there? With 2 of them were Irish.
That was very disappointing, wasn't it? Really
weird.
It's it gets in the way. I found a bit today. Did you not find that?
Some people have said that on the chat. I've seen
Musselburgh and Wetherby.
Tomorrow we've got the Scottish Triumph, the Scottish Supreme. Bad memories for you in that.
Yeah,
the third time,
not
like
a
he
good
walked
day.
through the second last, and it wasn't a good day. He was stinking mad. We've got a Potence tomorrow. We've got a champion handicap chase. So look, I don't know.
I mean, obviously each track's allowed their big day, but this is Dublin Racing Festival weekend.
Do you think we get too many cards on a Saturday?
When Ireland does such a big weekend, maybe we need to tone it down a little bit in Britain. What do you think?
We're not going to do it though, are we?
Well, we never tone anything down over here, do we?
How many cards have we got today? Let's have a look.
There's a card at Lingers.
There is.
I had a bet there later.
You have?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 domestic meetings as well as the Dublin Racing Festival. Greedy?
We're off, lads.
We're off.
We're off, right. Okay. We were digressing. We could probably talk about that by the time the Edinburgh National's over and finally get the answer out of it. But thankfully, they have jumped off. And who's going to do the donkey work for us? It's the outside lot. Robin de Foray, of course, ex-Willie Mullins horse, ridden by Ben Harvey, now with John McConnell. Who raids very successfully up at Musselburgh.
Yeah, he does.
Step Back is having a piece of the action along with Highland Hunter and Captain Cattershot as well. It's Saturday, see how they're jumping off. The Wolf observing for rear. Captain Cattershot steadied right into that one. Yeah. And Mighty Thunder, Scottish National. Could it be about that all again for him this year? First Scottish winner, of course, is Mirigo.
I'll tell you, this grey horse is jumping like an absolute stag.
This is Highland Hunter.
Yeah, what? He's flown the
This
first
would be
two.
some boost if he won this, wouldn't it?
Step Back's taking off now. Is this Lily?
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. She usually runs in the Bet365 Gold Cup, this horse, doesn't he? Step Back. They thought he might be a national horse, but he does need to go right-handed. I don't mind that. They know how to get him fit at home, the Brad Stocks.
Cracker and Smodge partnership.
I'm very happy to see this chap in front. Barry, has the market reacted that way?
Yeah, just ever so slightly. 6.6 now. Step Back. Your favourite in running, though, is still Highland Hunter, 3.5. 3.95, the Wolf. 7.8, Captain Catterstock. He's the one that's taken a big walk in the market since the race went in play. Yeah, but you're one in front now, 7.2. 7, Step Back.
I guess that was because he steadied into the first, wasn't it? But come on, we've got ages to go. It's like overreaction there. Shall I give you a quote from Gary Moore on Goshen while we're going through this race? Hopefully we now get some rain at Wincanton, so he's going to go back and try and win the...
Kingwell.
Kingwell. I always mix up that and the elite. They're thinking about the national spirit because it's valuable, but how will he go around? Imagine seeing him around
That'd be great,
Fontwell.
wouldn't it?
Wow. Well, the Fontwell crowd would love it because it's Gary's track, isn't it? They all love him round there. So
you wouldn't want to be the bloke stood on the gate where the horses come out onto the track, would you?
Cheltenham will be the owner's decision, but if it's up to me, he won't go there. So we shall see. The first winner of the day, should we have another or whatever it's called, should we have one more or whatever, that could well go to Cheltenham. So anyway, there's Goshen. We're going to see him back at Wincanton on this show in a couple of weeks' time, and he is back. Just as he needs to go right-handed, I think he does. Back to Edinburgh we go then. The Step Back is enjoying himself out in front. Robin de Foray now goes back into third. Captain Shadowscott.
He's jumping is warmed up, He's jumping good now.
That's what you want to see. And he's just taken Highland Hunter back a little bit, G, isn't he?
Yeah, the Wolf's enjoying himself for a horse who usually belts a few. He's gone round there quite well so far. We've got 2 circuits left to go, Dave.
Fences at Musselburgh?
Small, soft.
Yeah. Don't touch wood. You don't often see too many capitulations.
So you think
the only thing that catches them out is just the speed because they do
when they turn it
on
up
round there. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think maybe that's why Ollie Murphy's chosen this race.
I'm very happy to see little Miss Bradstock out in front here because I think this is just good. The horse is just going to enjoy himself. He's a 12-year-old, but he's not had that much mileage. I'd be pretty happy with him. What price is it at the moment? Let's have a look back. Yeah, I hope I'm not doing a fraud on it.
Well, we've been saying all day as well, all these races being won from the front. We've been saying it all year, haven't we?
It'd be the one time that I'm on one that it probably won't, but that's how you feel as a punter sometimes when you're having a bad day, isn't it? But keep the faith. What about Mighty Thunder? They were hoping he'd turn into a national horse. Obviously, it's a natural progression, isn't it? Not a national horse, but an actual
proper national horse.
Yeah. He's on the inside, isn't he? And he needs to bounce back from that Welsh national, but easy to forgive a P in a Welsh national, I think, isn't it? The Wolf
just belted that, yeah. First mistake.
It'd be easier for him, I suppose. He ran at Cheltenham last time, didn't he?
Yeah. He
ran well there.
Yeah, he should have won. He just belted everything.
He was coming back, wasn't he? Up when the winner idled a bit. Yeah, I remember that. And I can see why they're going over 3-7 with him. But again, he's just what you might call deliberate, Poste. Is that what?
Yeah,
he
is. Yeah.
He's having a good think about it, basically. All right, then. When's she going to warm it up, then? We've probably got another circuit after this to go as well.
We have. Right. Let's not get too excited yet.
Let's not get too excited yet. How's it going with the point-to-pointers, by the way?
Yeah, they're running okay.
Is this peak of the season at the moment?
No, not quite yet. I mean,
people having picnics again. I know it's midwinter and that, but people,
I'm looking forward to playing host to you with a picnic.
We're going to send some cameras down there, aren't we? It'd be good to get Barry over for one of them. Do you like your point-to-points, Barry?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I was raised on them. Yeah, I love the point-to-points. Always have.
Were you in the ring there then? Because that's where the
real
action is.
Yeah, my father used to bet at them.
Yeah,
every Sunday we'd set off early Sunday morning and all sorts of weather to get the point-to-point.
What was the best horse you saw in a point-to-point?
Jamie, best horse I saw in a point-to-point. God, there's so many of them. Obviously, coming through the Irish point-to-point fields, it's hard to just pick one day. To be perfectly honest with you,
I'll leave that one with you as they jump
off
at
Leopardstown for me.
As well. Energamine, you saw him, did you?
Yeah, Larkhill, yeah.
Lacey's. Was it Lacey's? It was like. How much did they buy him for? Tony Bird?
I don't know. It's pretty sole private.
Grand or something
it
like
must
that?
have been, yeah.
Right.
And a Hoy Senior, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You were at Kimble, were you? One of the lucky ones that was allowed to go then, of course. Yeah, all right. We will get to a point with you, of course. They're my favourites. You're up for that, aren't you?
Very much looking forward to going to a point. Yeah, I mean, I've been several times, obviously.
I remember once actually driving through the door of a point-to-point and seeing Mark Bradstock there. And he had this weird Technicolor Dreamcoat coat on. He's quite a character, isn't he? His hair, he looks like a mad professor. And he had a couple entered. I think Carruthers was supposed to run in one, probably for Lily. And he said, I've got one in the last. He said, if it can jump, it'll win. Anyway, so we were going through, all right, Mark, thanks a lot. Guess what? Couldn't jump.
No.
I think it came last and it was awful and burnt fingers there. But it's still out in front, is step back.
Not a lot's happened in the last...
Not a lot has happened.
They've kept their same positions. The Wolf has...
We're on the all-weather.
And we're off onto the final circuit with Lily in front.
Remind why these all-weather bends are there, to stop horses slipping.
Yeah, to stop them slipping, and just with the amount of hammer they take, because obviously it's the one track, it just preserves them a bit better. I think they're really good. You know, like the one at Kempton, the bend at Kempton rides different class now. They got that in.
All right, okay.
Of course.
All right, watching Mount Leinster as well go railing into the front. Very popular horse out there at Leopardstown. Still got that bumper to come, the bumper for the ages they called it on paper, despite the fact there are only 7 runners. Could we see the champion bumper winner this afternoon? American Mike, could he still be the one? Very possibly. Step back then goes over the Wolf again, not jumping very well, is he?
The Wolf just hit that one, but he's, by his own standards, he's jumped quite well, the Wolf.
And again, Barry, they're not panicking about the Wolf, are they?
No, they're not. Well, he's out to 6.6 now, Dave, so they are now. He's out to 9, 10.
As soon as I said it,
absolutely
done it, Dave.
Nothing had happened in the race, and I thought to myself, oh, we've got one here with the Wolf. They know what they're doing out there, but I don't know, there might be a slight reaction. Mighty Thunder coming in for money, I can see, Barry.
You're looking good, Dave.
Mighty Thunder, your favourite at 292. Highland Thunder out to 5 now, but in running, 2-1 Mighty Thunder.
No, she let Mighty Thunder up the inner there.
You're not happy about
that is a faux pas, is it?
Yeah, you're not happy about
Captain Cattistock, he stays all day. Highland Thunder, finally we're racing at Musselburgh in the Edinburgh National 2022. Highland Hunter looks like he's feeling that Welsh National run a bit. The Wolf,
you're pushing me wider and wider, Dave, at the moment.
I'll tell you what, there's a very big difference
hey,
in opinion.
we're going right-handed. Come on,
here we go. All right, look, Mighty Thunder up the inside. I think Poste, you might have this, mightn't you? He's cruising, isn't he?
This is the Wolf.
Going to go favourite, the captain at one point for the Fergal O'Brien team, that's for sure. The Wolf's coming into it. Robin De Fry definitely done. Hyland underfilling is done. Step back, unfortunately, is paying for those early exertions, even though he probably was going to pedestrian pace. Okay, Mighty Thunder, no good. Still feeling that Scottish national, isn't he? Could the Wolf finally pull this out the back? Heidi Hunter on the inside. You going to get this?
I think I might.
Come on, finally, you're going to get a winner on the board.
A winner, long press, oi, senor.
Yeah, right, okay. Okay, the ones we all tipped.
Captain Catterstock, come on.
Okay, this is a proper slow motion finish, this, isn't it?
Coming back.
The Captain Catterstock's got this in the back, I think.
No, he hasn't.
I think he has, isn't he? No, he's going to keep him going. It's between the two of them. The Wolf is coming.
The Wolf is coming.
That wasn't overreaction on the far side. It's all on the last.
Well,
Who knew the Edinburgh National would be so exciting?
Come on, Liam.
Captain Catterstock on the inside, Wolf on the outside. 10 races down, but we still got the energy. Come on, Posty, you're going to get this. Oh, the Wolf comes up short again as Captain Catterstock just does enough. One of the finishes of the day. You wouldn't know it. They only got racing for about 4 out, Barry, or goodness gracious me. Was that ding dong, ding dong?
That really was. The Captain Catterstock was 7s on, jumping the last, 3s on, jumping the second last. But the Wolf hit a low of 1.27, which is 7-2 on. A game effort from him. You also had Highland Hunter traded short at odds on 1.67 Highland Hunter. So, yeah, great cracking race after, nearly 4 miles.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I mean, we could have talked about what we watched on television last, what we have for dinner, what we're doing tomorrow and all that sort of stuff. It was great, wasn't it? So, there you go. 10 races for you done on Racing Post Live. What fun we've had. It seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? When Dolos finally put Paul Nichols back off the cold list, would you believe it? Barry Orr's been great to have us with you. You're going out tomorrow. Ryan will be taking your place. Great to have you along, man. And again, we're going to do racing welfare then in February.
Yeah, racing welfare for the month of February. We didn't add anything to their coffers today, I don't think, but we'll drive on tomorrow. Ryan is a good judge of the Irish racing, so fingers crossed he can get a few winners on the board. Great to see you, Charlie, and you, G-Rod, and we'll see you again.
Cheers, Barry.
See you soon, Barry. And like I say, if you see the great man at Leopardstown, don't be afraid to go and say hello to him tomorrow. Very jealous of Barry being there. Posty, great to have you along the way.
Thanks, mate.
Got a little run coming up now as well, haven't you? Certainly next week you're back, aren't you?
I'm in next week, yeah.
All right, batch in the seat tomorrow. G, fill your lungs, mate. Same as me. The short ones went in, but we don't count them, do we?
No, today's a day to forget from a punting perspective, isn't it? But luckily, when you've had a bad day, you want to be coming back tomorrow. And
we're going to be coming galloping in like the Deschamps. We will be coming. What's that in the gallery they're saying? Oh, what? Lingfield tip. What's the Lingfield tip?
It's military decoration in the 420, I think it is.
Guess who's been working that at home?
Who?
Matty Batch.
That's it, really?
Well, yeah, it's all on Batch then in the last at Lingfield. Good luck to you with the rest of the day. Join us back tomorrow 1 p.m. Don't draw breath.